I just have to text somebody who I think will love it. Let me kick this thing off and get started. We've got a ton of dollar start. I feel like these days I've seen a bunch of interesting coins that it's better to, yeah, we should have some of that B Sawyer. Why don't we even just get right to it and find a few of those? There's a bunch of expensive types, a bunch of inexpensive types. You just let me know and we should have it. So today should be super fun. We've got some pricier types, and then we've also got some less expensive coins. WY 1404075. I'm almost positive that we can run that, and tonight is going to be the night of the request for sure. And so Smallwood Ladybug Jamie going to win the first coin, and it looks like we have a very interesting Jetton, and it can't be smart to dollar start this guy, so we will. Interesting 1560. Oh, wow, that's an earlier Jetton. 1560 to 1574 France. You've got the Verbum Fi Mori. Quite an interesting type. I think it's got a lot of room, and always better to dollar start something than to $19 start it if you're a bidder. So congratulations on that quick win. I do want to call out that we've got, really interesting. Let's pull some of the Epfig types. We have another Jetton right here. We will run this one. This is actually the Hulk Pacha. So referencing peace, you have kind of like a scene from, again, very old, kind of at least 300-ish years old. We have Adarshir tetradrachms. We've got just a ton of interesting. Thank you so much, B Sawyer. I really, try hard to get some great content up, and so we're gonna go and dollar start a bunch. Let me get that request that you just asked for after we do maybe two more of these dollar start English. Here's a half penny, and then we'll get WX61031. That sounds like some interesting silver to me if I was guessing, and it quite in fact is. We'll probably leave sudden death off, and just tell me what you all are looking for here, because again, we have a bunch of it, and so there are a lot of expensive coins that I stayed up quite late inventorying, and the goal here is, well, just a bunch of fun. In terms of the melt value on this guy, we're looking at $32.43 of melt. I'll be a bit upset if we're not too close to it. What's going on? Yeah, I'm back in Cali. We got a great late night show here, and $32 of melt. $32 and should have some premium above that, but it doesn't mean it's going to have some. But I am hoping, candidly, that we don't get stuck at that level. 31, that'll be nice. 999, not so much. That'll be a fantastic win. AC, this one's not so good for a dollar start, but we can run something that's a little higher. It's probably like a 28 millimeter coin, probably like a $69 coin. Without a doubt, we'll see where it bids from there. It's got a nice reverse and very solid obverse, a little bit of black discoloration there, but very solid ancient Egyptian Ptolemaic coin. You can see Ptolemeo on the reverse. The top slabs, I've got a Darsh. Oh, Emma Meal, I have tons of new Parthian. I'm going to try to make about $15 a coin at the base, and then these are going to be. I sold. This guy he said he had 12 of these. I tried to buy them all. He was only able to get 4. I think the others sold. That I started them at $319, and they bid to 400 plus each in my last auction. And so we could potentially do some of the Adarshir. We also have some, a mix of Parthian drams. We could start maybe with this Volgazes, which is going to be the cheapest, about $79. This is going to be an NGC fine, and yeah, I figured it's our first time doing 2 shows in the same RS right. What do you think's fair for the bronze Cleo? I really don't have a good sense for what it should go for. These next, and then I'll pivot to some. We could do some of the choice finds. There's only one in NGC fine for this evening. Phrades, he's going to be fairly popular ruler. And so this I paid 75 for. I'll probably then start for 94 just with the whatnot fees. I guess that'd make a bit less than 15 bucks. But actually it's pretty good detail. And yeah, I mean, I think all right, so right. I'm gonna say I feel bad because I thought that I'd pulled that to price it out, but it shouldn't be too cheap. I can try to price it in the background while other people are, looking around for some great coins. And I don't want to be the Cleopatra regulars. I think we can do like 500 bucks on the tetradrachms. Here's another one. I think this is the last of the Phrades in NGC fine. None from the 13 colonies. I should have some Netherlands duets, which would have circulated here, but they also would have circulated a bunch of other places. Again, the other one just sold. Always interesting. You have the moon, you have a clear Parthian portrait, and then we have somebody who is rumored to be among the three wise men. That could just be a tactic for selling the coins, but 2 BC to 4 to 5 AD. This is going to be Phrases, and we have a very clear portrait. Again, super interesting stylized face. And yeah, no, it's fun to do the late shows. I think it's not going to be the sort of thing that I'm always able to do, but I thought, what if I just went insane and tried to do a show literally every night this week? And so I just have a bunch of stuff that's been laying around, and wife is away, and so um, I was like, hey, maybe I'll just do a ton. This one is going to be Vologazes, the first 50 to 78 AD. Find it; those are really cool winter hillstock ones. Those are going to be down in Texas, so I would look out for them on Thursday. For $3.99, is it in an NGC holder, ours, right? Because if it is, maybe we can aim for like 360. I'm not trying to. Basically, I want to make sure that I do okay on it, and I have to show the specific one. This is the last. This is going to be a Pacorus 78 to 120. Very solid reverse there. You see the Arsacid holding a bow. Nothing from the 13 colonies, though we do have some Netherlands, East Indies duets. And then we have some higher grade stuff as well, and some rare rulers. The VFs, though, I'm paying like 95, so I probably want to make 15 bucks and start them at 119. And then we have, well, why don't we do a mid-range Adarshir tetradrachm? This is going to be about 279. Not a super cheap coin, but he was the first Sasanian ruler. 1764. What's going on, HBP, by the way? I'm bummed. I don't know if I can make it to Long Beach doing a bunch of shows in their stead. We have Zoroastrian Fire Altar reverse and a great portrait of the Sasanian ruler Adarshir on the front of it. Yeah, beautiful, pretty chunky. Wish I could discount those a little bit more, and we can always bring them back. But let's see. I know. Oh, that sounds fun. I'm like super excited to. It's all about a PTO. There's a chance I try to go to Central States. Let's get back into it with a dollar start. Shapur the first, I don't think we have, but we're always trying to look for them. This is going to be 6th century BC to 5th. Very sharp incuse reverse. I just want to make sure that we have, exciting coins for exciting people. Great auction. I think at $6, $7, $8, we're probably going to get a couple more bids. WB coin at 11. I think that's a great place to win. I think I have a couple more. I'm a little hesitant to go for that level. I mean, this one looks nicer too. We'll start this one at 14 bucks, and maybe I'll find another giveaway for us. Sea God of Ketos on there. And trying to see if there's other stuff. We have some Polish-Lithuanian, which is often pretty exciting. Tarentum. No, I think we sold some Tarentum in the Texas show today, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely keep an eye out. But Tarentum coins have gotten pricey. This one's really sharp strike, 1623 Polish-Lithuanian, a kind of Northern European 400 plus years ago, 1623. Sounds good. WW, we're gonna, after that last one went below melt, even prior to the fees, I am gonna probably, make sure it's not a misstep, and maybe something. I'll price it about $5 more than post fees. Melt, we got an 1875 5 Lear. They're way tougher to get. I just don't get them in anymore, really, because okay, it's $54 of melt, so start at like 65. These things, I pay tariff, even though they're not supposed to be tariffed when they come in. Did find also around $3.99. Perfect AE 52 190. Is that one of those beautiful Sasanian ones? HDC. Those have been well desired. This evening, that's going to be the last time they went. I started for $319 and they sold for 400 plus. Congrats to Sasanian. I've pulled that one. I'd probably start that for like $339 just because how crazy the last one went up. This one will be 65, no sudden death. Then we'll get the 190, and then let me look at that further on the drachmi. Nice Louis. Oh, that's actually really nice looking. Wow. I kind of glossed over that one. And so now actually HTC, I'm realizing that I don't have more than like 4 or 5 of these. So let's see. 80 drachmi. That one is going to go to Astro K. We've got a Polish-Lithuanian. 80 dram. I'm seeing the most recent 80 drams that I'm seeing. Trying to like look at the places that I would know. I'm seeing goods. I'm seeing the AGs in the places that I'm aware of themselves between 288 and 408. So then I'd probably be like not 9. Excuse me. Here's 190. Then let's pull that one. Let's try. I think I'll be like maybe 379, and you should see if you like the coin. This one would be 339. Fantastic Sasanian look. And again, upper tier in terms of the condition. I'm scared that there's not going to be the bidding competition there tonight, but the prior went, I'm in really, really nice shape. Congratulations to find it. I do want to caution, there's one other XF. This one, we have 3 in VF that are going to be a little bit cheaper. So this would be like 279-ish. And so, I think it's a little more worn, but in terms of the detail of the coin itself, it's really pretty. And I think retains a lot of, great bust. Such a historic ruler. Don't have any pandas, Dimitri. Yeah, the strike on this is really good. We can always come back to those. Again, I've got 3 of those alongside a nice mix of Parthian. We do have a couple of other interesting rulers, and then we have Epfig Hoard. We have a couple different hordes in nice NGC encapsulation. This one, Choice VF, these are going to start at 149. Mithridates the third, beautiful shape. Choice VF, very elegant bust, also attributed to Rhodes the first. And so Greek Parthian, kind of Hellenistic Parthian, interesting types. But we've got a bunch more. Let me look for this 80 drachma because I've had it for a little while. Wait, where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh no, mine's actually not quite as nice, I would say. I would run this for like $2.99. Sounds good, JJ Foster. Because look at Cleopatra's face, very worn away, but you can see the eagle super clearly. It's only one of these I've ever sold. Of course, Jesse Tay. And we'll see how far it climbs. And so let me see. In the meantime, we'll do a 3-polker. Yeah, let's do the one for J.J. Foster, AD. This one's actually pretty solid too. 1621. J Dizzle notes sounds good. I'm gonna first run the J.J. Foster one, and then J Dizzle, if I'm forgetting, like, please hound me about it, because I'm not trying to be annoying, and I probably am, because I sometimes go a little while. $10, Murph, man, that's a killer win. We got some great pickups early. This one should bid really solidly high. We're gonna go no sudden death on there. And somehow Whatnot's not letting me try it, but we're going to go no sudden death. This is one of the dual portrait types, which always is really fun, super decent looking. I mean, these are super popular. This is going to be Alexander and Julia Mesa. We actually have some interesting, I got a bunch of cool kind of female ruler types today. So good number of Lucilla, who's the daughter of Marcus Aurelius. But let me look for this 012. Herod the Great. I could have swore that I sold that. Maybe I didn't. Nice one for Find It. And we've got some good ones coming, but I said that I would look for this one, so I'm definitely going to, but I'm like, not that I'm not optimistic, but like, where is this guy? Oh, there it is. I do have it. Fantastic. I bought a bunch for $49 or for $45. This one I got for a little less, but they all sold with a 54 start price. That's the one I have. Very clear Herodian trident on the front of it. And then on the back, you have somewhat clear. I'm not sure of the exact design, but I think it's a it's a cornucopia with a caduceus. This is the King Herod mentioned in the Bible. There's also Herod Agrippa, who comes along a little bit after that. But that's our one of these for today. We have Widow's Mites, if people are interested. We also have Aspa Varmatets, of which we seem to continue to sell out with that 59 start price, of course. And Jake's Watches, interested. This one has great detail on both sides of the coin. Very elegant Aspa Varma. Azes is going to be a super popular ruler. Part of the Indo-Scythians, which eventually become the Kushans. And that one is actually going to go for $59. Congratulations. We have some of the rarer types as well. We'll continue to run. This one's pretty well silvered for the type of Aspa Varma. So, they would really vary. They try to wash them in silver on the outside of it. It's actually probably the most silver, no BC gold, the most silver Indo-Scythian Billin Tet of Aspa Varma that I've seen. And then it looked like there was a request from Jake's Watches about 036. That is going to be a Tigranes coin. Tigranes a little pricey. I'm kind of just making up a price on it too. Probably like 109 or something. No sudden death. It's just got fantastic detail, and then I had to pay to grade it. On both sides, you can see it looks like Tigranos should be spelled out there, and then Basileo. Sounds good. No, it's the tricky thing. This kind of thing in terms of how I get to that price. It's the only one that's in my inventory, and I didn't pay like nothing for it either. So I feel bad that I can't go, drop that. But here we've got, this is daughter of Marcus Aurelius, Lucilla. Really solid type. 129, going to be the starting price on this one. And I was just pumped about it when I saw somebody had some for sale, felt that they were quite mispriced, and basically stepped in and bought what I could. It looks like on eBay you can get them in the Well, I guess the only sold comp was at 189. I'm able to make some money with that 129, 139. Maybe I should do 139 start price. So I'm not gonna raise it. Ooh, that has a really cool reverse type, super clear. It is a Venus Victrix type. I don't know if that's necessarily better, but Victrix, I assume it's some kind of victory. Awesome, and a ton of medals if you look through. If there's any specific Jettons, if you type in Jetton, you can start setting. I did not submit the SPQR collection. Nice win there for Find It. We've got We might continue to go through, and I'm not surprised to see these all bidding up. Beautiful Lucilla Augusta with great luster. This one is going to be a classic, just Venus type. Miller Ancients, what's going on? Thanks for the raid. We're doing our first double show where we're basically doing two shows, one in Texas, one in California, same day. Jesus King for sure. I agree, Christine. Russia from 1533. No, we should have some Jure Khans coming in. India Phantoms. No, we do not have those. We don't, which is obviously disappointing. But yeah, let's get a giveaway to celebrate Miller Ancients. Go follow him if you aren't already. Very nice guy. Here is the reverse type. It's going to be also a Venus Victrix. I don't think this is quite as nice as the prior one, but the prior one also bid into the 170s. Again, I try to just give my accurate opinion of each of the items. I think 139 is fair there. Let's see. I'll take a look at the back. This one has Concordia. So I don't exactly remember what Concordia represents. If somebody knows it, yeah, I'm a believer for sure, Christine. Yeah, my name's even Christian. Not that that has any indication, but HGC. Is that the Sasanian one? I think I ran it, and I think it sold for a bunch. They bid up to higher. I've got some nice other ones. Let's see. We'll keep running these guys. This one is also the Venus type with a pretty sharp back of the coin there. And then if we're boring people, I know that Baffy's here looking for Jettons, but I haven't seen a specific request. I want to make sure I get it for you. There's another one on the list. No, I'm worried. I told somebody to come and bid on it, and they're going to be upset if they're already gone. But I'll run it. This one, how long will I be on till? Probably at least 2 hours. I just started. So Lucilla Augusta, nice. You got a pile. Let's go. It's always fun to I love an unboxing as much as hopefully all of you enjoy receiving the packages. I just get to do it and probably do it a little more in terms of how often. This one's going to be 30 seconds. This is the last XF that I have. 339, same start price as the other one. The other one bid to 349. So we will see. A Darshir Tetradrachms, and then we have 3 VFs in at about 279, maybe 269 if they don't sell. But here is the last of the XFs in my possession, and to my knowledge that I'd be able to get my hands on. Great script around the coin. The one laying outside the box below it is going to be 279 on this same type of a Darshir Tetradrachms, but it's just a little worse in terms of the grade. And so those are the 2 XFs that I had. I can show some of the VFs. 279. We'll give it plenty of time to bid just so that you can see the coin. This one is particularly nice for being VF. Sounds good, Jonathan. We're going to run that immediately after this one. I'm pumped about it. We'll do the same as always. Wait, where are these coins? Oh, WX. That's old inventory. That's been sitting here, and I haven't been showing it for whatever reason. Should be XF. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really nice. I don't think, one thing that I don't think they graded them with choice grades, which you can do. You pay a little more, which is a little silly, but it takes them a lot more time to separate out. So that's how it goes. Here we have the Thunderbolt 1741 Jetton. It is definitely interesting. And then somebody asked about AE48. That's LK Provines. Let me find that. LK Provines. Sounds good. They'd be rolling. I guess that maybe they're thinking it's like in the Hellenistic Hellenistic vibe is my best guess, and maybe they want to draw a contrast, but I find it a bit surprising as well. And I said these would be going for $4.99. I don't know. I think that actually gives good room in terms of what I've seen them go for on eBay. Nice choice find, 37 to 36 BC. Fantastic little Ptolemaic tetradrachm, lower percentage silver. I believe this had about the silver content of a denarius. Somebody check me on that. AM coins. I'm always looking to get the request. It doesn't matter, what type of coins. Sometimes I'll tell somebody, let's wait. Really? I would have thought that they're lower. They don't look that pure when I compare it to, but I believe you. Let's try Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. We got to do some dollar stars. I've been running a couple too many that didn't get bids. I also do have some nice Epfig Hoard. This is 1626. We have some great Epfigs that were starting at 84. Every single one I brought sold last show. And so Joey gonna win that one. Let's see what else we can find. We'll do a couple different dates. I know a bunch of people collect them that way, and we have a giveaway win. So congrats to whoever does get it. This one's gonna be real close. Going fast. We're doing a very quick sudden death situation here. And that one will go to G. Let's see, this one here is going to be pretty sharp. I mean, it's a little bit worn. WX 2018. Yes, I will go find that one as we continue to go through this mix. Is there any interest in the Epfigs again at that 84 start price? Jinx Canada, nice win. Let's see. Do we have one more of these guys? This one, actually, we might have a couple. Here is a 1624. And then we also have some other interesting just Polish-Lithuanian types. And sounds good, Baffy. I just noticed this one that I wanted to try. This is a silver groschen, which is different. It's in super worn shape. It's a little bit better of a coin, but again, super worn, just of Sigismund the Great. But you can see, it's like a portrait coin. So kind of cool, kind of interesting. We're going to do the 2 Jettons right after this. And then, because we got to get, if Baffy wants it, Baffy gets it. Oh, we got that one too. There's a little scratch on there. I just want to call that out. Right on the front, I'll show it very clearly so you can see. There it is. But it is a sudden death Jetton with some nice State of Brittany look to it. And then WX 17, I think, is a pretty similar type. Sounds good. Bam. A slab Byzantine. It's actually Sasanian Empire. So they would have been, I believe, fighting quite a bit over the years. This one does not seem to have that scratch. Maybe a touch clean, but also some nice toning. Should bid up a little higher than the prior. Burkhart sounds good. I would be happy to run that. It is a $499 coin, just to call that out. We can do a couple more Polish-Lithuanian examples. Yeah, of course, Jinx. This one is going to go to GJ. And then, again, I've been trying to do just tons. I want to see how many coins an hour I can sell while also offering that expensive stuff, because on the expensive stuff I still do have to get my can't get crushed sliding back and forth. Oh, there's some really nice. Oh, you know what? It's the Epfig Hoard types, which is a type that is not Byzantine itself, but the slab does kind of look like the ones that I've seen for Byzantine coins. And so we're going to do for Marvin. Then these two, it was out of, I think, the Epfig Hoard, which was discovered by French construction workers, I want to say. And it was many, many coins of theirs were found. It's always interesting to see the ones that have specific hoard provenance. We're about to get in a bunch from a Belgian hoard that just came back from NGC in no grade holders. They're probably going to be starting for about $69 for the pretty tough looking ones, and then they're going to range up pretty considerably beyond that. Let's do this 3-polker though. 1621 by the looks of it, with very nice detail on the reverse. Then we've got an Epfig, and then we're going to pivot over to Jonathan Baffy's request, which is going to be, and there's a lot of copper jetons as well. Let me pull them out. Oh, that's a thick one. Steve B going to make his first purchase there. We've got 127 here. We're looking for Epfig. And then there's also, I've been talking with Spencer. Maybe I'll actually take a little detour. But we sold out. We got a bunch of awesome Indian coins in. This one is going to be a Choice XF Epfig Hoard PLC Mint Mark Constantin. It's the Constantinopolis commemorative type. Just beautiful. I pulled those 3 even, but I'm kind of tempted to run some of the Simhas. This is really a fantastic type, and I'll run 3 Jettons in a row. I just did want to show this. I sold all 5 that I brought to the show on Sunday. Beautiful Northern Dynasties. It's got like this animal on the front of it. Chawan Dynasty from Jaitra Simha in around 1275 AD. We'll do another Epfig after the 3 silver Jettons, but beautiful reverse type as well. Baffy leading. We also have a couple of the Bazarukos. I brought some of those back. So let's do a nice mix. We'll do some more of the Simha, but we first have to run. I mean, this thing is a weighty Jetton. Napoleonic medals, I don't think I have tons of. Manfredi, I don't know too much about. This is Bank of France. It is in that 8th year, so it could be considered part of that. I mean, beautiful type, though. This is a little better than the normal medal that or Jetton that we get in. Has that beautiful stamp argent, and then this clear, look, just a weighty octagonal. Really interesting and exciting. Super fun. And yeah, Bank of France, year 8 is going to be what's in front of us. Congrats to Baffy. We've also got this slightly smaller Jetton. I guess we'll start it for $52, but no sudden death because it's dated to 1800. Établi le 6 novembre, MDCCC 1800 in Rouen. Has a very interesting, kind of like ancient looking type. Some copper Jettons. We've definitely got those in stock. I did want to run a couple more of the Jaitra Simhas. And so Sorcerer Stan leading. We've got just a great mix on deck. We also have some Amirs of Kundas. So Sorcerer Stan. Yeah, this is kind of thing. These all can really go back and forth. And that one will go to M. Emil. We have just a great mix of Jettons ahead of us. I don't think anybody will be disappointed. Just for time's sake, going to do a 15-second. Ooh, I didn't even notice that this was one of the horse types. Écurie du Roi du Vivier. Louis the 15th. Very, very nice. Baffy, I'm going to try some of the Jaitra Simhas have been so popular. I have a couple of them that I wanted to share here tonight. And so we'll start with this one. These are going to be just 15 seconds, $34. The last one bid into the 40s. Curious where this one will land. Again, very clear. I think it's like a panther. Maybe it's a lion. There's the reverse, super nice incuse look. And so, it is a very fun type. That one's actually just going to sell for $34. Interesting. We'll see on the next one where this one goes. I did want to bring enough for everybody, so I think that there are 2 or 3 others. These are going to be 1275 AD. The northern part of India, I believe. Jaitra Simha. Very nice example right there. Sorcerer Stan going to win that one. We have some of the, what's it called? We've got, oops. I think that, let me just swap. I want to make sure that Baffy gets the coin that he thought he had. Let me just make sure. Okay, that one, that just sold one to Sorcerer Stan. I need to play a little bit of musical chairs here. The one that went to Baffy, I think, was 03. Was that the first one? Okay, I'll just figure this out later. I think. Sorry, I'm now going slow here. Okay, no. Baffy's. I've now figured it out. That's the one Baffy had. The one that just sold. I just need to make sure that everybody that bought them got the one that they ordered. This one is going to go to Jackson. And then this last one, which is titled 04, is going to go to Sorcerer Stan. Pleased that we got that resolved. Sometimes I just pick up the wrong coin to run it. I don't think that I've got any of those, unfortunately. And again, sorry for the slowdown here. Sometimes when we've got exciting coins, they get away from me. We've got 2 more of these Gytrosimhas. The first 3 have sold quickly here. This one has a very solid little lion staring to the left, and a quite nice InQ style punch on the reverse. And so, yeah, we've got some, I don't think any Tiberius. We might have a Tiberius in bronze, but we can also pivot to some other interesting types. These, okay, then this one, and then a Baffy Jetton. This one, the last one of these that I tried, bid up to, and then there's some copper Jettons as well, into the hundreds. Cleopatra, oh yes, T.S. Burkhart, sorry about that. We've got that 500 tetradrachm, and then if that is, let's see, where did I put that coin? I literally just picked it up here. There it is. Beautiful shape. Emma Meal going to win that one. We've got this Cleopatra that had been requested at that 4. Maybe we'll do a $5 decrease in the price, but Cleopatra tetradrachm 37 to 36 BC. Perfect. We've got WW. I think we said, did you say 20 is what I thought I saw? Oh no, 13. I see it. T.S. Burkhart. Oh, is that are we I think I might recognize, but I don't want to say any names just in case people, but I might have got a package recently from you. And if so, thank you. And I should have a couple more of those if interested. We've got beautiful Ordinale de Gale 1698 is definitely earlier dated for this type. Nice Louis Magnus Rex. Earlier example 2502. Yeah, I'd probably start for like $49. I'll show you the coin shortly. And then we do have nice copper Jettons. We'll do this one. In front of it is 1712, a little bit earlier, 1712 dated. Again, I'm not going to raise the start price. And I can show the other, I wrote 2 of these other Cleopatras. Or no, maybe just one of them. I can certainly offer it. Yeah, really interesting reverse. Not something I see all the time. And then we have the WY 2502. A nice silver. This is actually a half penny from England over 700 years ago. So would not be surprised to see this one bid higher. Oh, it's actually Edward the First. So a little bit. I think that this one could bid up. I paid in the 40s for it, so I'm trading it pretty thin. And so more biblical, sure. And that sounds great. Dizzle, 28. Can you tell me what those coins are? Feel bad that I'm going slow. AstroK, yes. Let me run this one just to make sure. Oh, and then Copper Jettons, I think, was also requested. I'm kind of forgetting this one is going to be fine. There's a flan flaw, but the coin itself is pretty nice. $4.49 the start price on this guy. Oh, China Mother of Pearl. King Stephen, I don't think I have any of. That's going to be a rarer ruler, right? I'm still a bit of like a beginner, honestly, with a lot of the You know, I think I'll try to go out and buy some. Okay, this one's sad because I will do this. It's a broken fish money, mother of pearl type, which is super sad because the good ones bid up. This one was purchased apparently in 1972 in London, but very sad. Mother of pearl Chinese fish gaming. Savannah. I'm not going to be at Savannah. I'm hoping to be at Central States. I'm crossing my fingers that I can make that happen. This is not a agricultural product. That would be kind of crazy. I assume that these can come like no longer affixed. I think these I'd start for like 19 bucks. That's where I've started them in the past. It's got this great old collection. Take a look at this one. You see two birds. I want to make sure you can see that. You have the two birds grasping each other's hands. Very intricately designed eye. Serbian. I think that the Uros, the fourth sensei, is going to be um, down in Texas. I don't think I have any of those in my inventory. But actually, were we talking about shipping abroad potentially one of those coins? Because if you come back on Thursday, my guess is we can get it for you there. Sometimes Whatnot's a little bit easier. Yeah, beautiful. Again, two birds. They are going to be, yes, gambling tokens made of mother of pearl. From any larger coins, we got this really cool blank coin with just a countermark of a face. We also have, wait, actually, this, I'll be crazy. It's not good for me to pause the auction. Take a close look at this one. This is like a rectangular design with almost like clouds or something like that. I'm going to put that down here. And I'm going to go get a countermarked bag. That one is going to go to Sorcerer Stan. Aren't these kind of crazy? We got a bunch of 8 reals that are like cups because of how countermarked they are. Insane. I think I might send those to grading. Let's run the last of these, and then we'll find something else. I also will call out that I didn't get in time. I know I uploaded them, and these will be sudden death now. 15 seconds. Oh, Astro K. I know there's also some Soviet stuff that we might have. And so, how much on the cupped? I think those should go to grading. I really do. You know, they're I don't have any uploaded. 135. Yeah, I think. Let's see. There's 135. We can run. I mean, I'm open to running. I think it'll take like 15 seconds. A piece. We'll run the last 3. These are some pretty nice. Yeah, that's a fun shamrock design. As you can see, they are mother of pearl gaming tokens. There were lots of different like Chinese produced. There's also some gaming tokens of porcelain. Then we have a bunch of the other. Let's do on these last ones. They're really pretty. We might go no sudden death. 8 WB coin, that sounds good. Oh, this one has like a very intricate design, but then you also see the two birds or whatever. Really cool. And then the last one is like very intricate. I think it might be the nicest of the mix that we've got. Netherlands Ducaton, I wish I had them. I don't, and you might have to keep asking me. I know that there's Soviet. There's also requests for, this one is, I think, the coolest type that we've had. It's got like this journeyman on the reverse. Really cool Chinese mother of pearl. Israeli silver, I don't think I have any. But it goes quick when I get it. It's really cool. Stivers, I should have some of the Duets. Is probably the best I've got. I've got, let's see, there was this request for what I think was one of these Christ coins. It's weird because I bought these for not that much, but then now they go wholesale in like the high 40s. You know, some dealers bought a bunch in the high 40s. This is a Christ. Yeah, we have Judea. We have it's mostly like the widow's mites. We have some VFs or choice VFs for about $94, $99. We also have some of the regular slab ones for a 32 buck start. And then last but not least, nice win for B Farm. We have some ones that have slight bronze disease and incrustation. This is going to be a similar, this is also gambling money, but we'll start for 13 bucks. This is in porcelain now. This is often quite popular, has characters on the back. These were mainly used in Thai gambling houses. And let me just pull a bunch of Russian coppers. There's also some like Palushkas. That one will go to Blue Tull. We've got, let's see. We have a mix here. It's tough. Whatnot's not cooperating, so I just have to pick whichever ones we're going to run, maybe a small handful of them. Just all interesting types. Oh, do we have Porcius Festus? Fantastic. Silver State Quarters, I think almost none. Actually, maybe we have a proof set that I'm just like offering. If somebody could calculate what melt is. Oh, this one has like some kind of bird design, but if you can calculate what melt is, then we'll, I just want to get melt before Whatnot fees. So it'll be less than melt. Yeah, some kind of like eagle type here. Next one is like a very interesting. There's like a scratch character in the reverse for Blutulia, it looks like. Here we've got nice design. There's always a bunch of action around these, so it should be like progressively less expensive. But if you hit like, say you have like 14 ounces in your package, I think the way it goes is unless it's an oversized item, it'll be 3 ounces, then 1 ounce for every item after that. But I do charge for shipping. I know some people do free shipping. I figure it's the most honest to charge shipping. Liberty Coyote sounds good. It might be the sort of thing where we come back to it. AD, is that a Roman? Yeah, right now. And this one I'm going to start for $1 because this one is chipped. So I just want to call that out. You can see that it was chipped there, but it would have been like a pepper. I don't know if it was purposely chipped to kind of look like a heart more. Just kind of something interesting. And there's a bunch of other, and we mentioned some of the Russian examples. I did bring a couple more Soviet ones. This one is not chipped. Maybe we'll try some of the Russian. There's tons of ancient though. As people are excited about them. Let me pull that AD 69 actually while we talk about these. Yeah, nice Roman Republican. It's pretty worn. We probably start for like 59 bucks or something like that. It's tricky with Roman Republican because it's similar to some of the other type. Like, I think the tricky thing is that as I have more dealer contacts, like it doesn't mean I don't bring stuff out in dollar, start it here. There's often slightly higher than I used to have, like people that will just come in and buy stuff at, X price, if that kind of makes sense, where then it's tough to justify selling stuff for more, or less than that, then individually pack it up and everything. But it can also be a fun way to give people a good deal. This one is like a scroll type, which that's kind of neat. And we are going through, I know this has turned into like a little bit of a mini auction focused on these coins. I think there's maybe like 4 or 5 left. Current on the 2000 set is 98. Can somebody else verify? I believe you, but if one other person can corroborate that, that would be fantastic. And very nice, because I think that's the one proof set that I do have, and I'd be happy to get that out the door to you. Let's see, this one's going to be 33. How many more do we have of these guys? As I said, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All interesting designs. Okay, perfect. That makes a ton of sense. And we will have to get that up and going here. We've got a nice, mostly blue or white and red. And then let's see, dash. Oh, wow. There's some people will like these. This one has 2 characters on the reverse, and they're pretty good for being on the reverse of the type. That one at 16, I think, is great. This one has a little more muddied reverse, but I mean, take a look. It's almost got like some kind of, is that, I don't know if that's like a fish or what kind of animal it is, like a dragon, something like that. And then there's the reverse, been well used over time. And then let's see, here we've got this like almost little piece looking one. We'll do that one after. Well, there's only three more of these, I think, and maybe we put on a giveaway soon. There's the reverse larger hexagonal type. Thank you so much. No, the collection that I bought was really fantastic. It was from this Belgian guy who had assembled it over a long time. I forgot to upload. I uploaded them to the show, but I didn't get them ready. A bunch more Chinese coins and Vietnamese of his. So it's been just an honor to be able to offer that. Yeah, 3 more of these after this guy. Again, I apologize if it's not what you're looking for that I'm running so many of these, but I feel like it's tough to find this pretty of them on a regular basis, and so it makes sense that the collectors are then there for it when we've got them. We'll then try that proof set at 98 bucks. But we've got, yeah, after this, ooh, okay, yeah, we have 2 very fun types. Let's see who lands it. That one will be DZ. This one is going to be very fun. $13 start, nothing different, but it's like this man's face. We also have some medallic art co-medals, which could be kind of interesting, from like the 70s. $1 start. I don't know about tons of the Roman bronzes. There were some that I almost uploaded, and then I realized I had deleted the upload. We'll do 13 bucks on this last of these guys for this evening. Then there's, I think, a Russian after the proof set. But J-Diz, maybe we'll just do a not lower end Roman dollar start guy. Very fun, almost peace themed. Congrats on that. We've got a proof set. 98 bucks. Let's make sure the coins are in there. There's more than just the silver, obviously, but we got the silver state quarters and the silver Kennedy half, not intended for circulation. If somebody wants it later, we will have it. And then these guys should be exciting. We've got some Dengas. Could be dollar start. Why don't we dollar start one of them? I'll probably end up protecting them down the road, but these are nice shape. Beautiful Russian Denga types. The Thrace Tetra Bowl. What year is that from? Be happy to run it, but I just want to check that out. That one will go to Sorcerer. What's going on, Shannon? Yes, it is. That's so fun. Shannon, fantastic. Have kept in touch with Shannon for a long time. I'm now married. I've been married for about 11 months. So the reason I'm doing during the week whatnot show is that my wonderful wife is on a business trip. So I wanted to test with Isaiah. This one's 1748. Let me look for it. I'm struggling, and it's the problem when I brought like 1,600 coins to an auction. Yeah, Shannon, what's been going on with you? If I remember correctly, you're not quite as young as I am in the 20s, so but maybe you do have a new wife or any other life updates that would be fun enough to share publicly. Let me know. It's fun to catch up. It actually happens from time to time where it's something similar, where somebody pops in a stream. And I always love talking with people because it's tough. I'm just do this for fun still. So I kind of get to do the mix of being a collector and being a dealer. This one's a little more worn, 1750. I think it's our last one that we brought, but there's some other nice Russian coins. And then we have more Jettons too. Thank you very much, Brianna. She, I would say, likes coins mostly because I'm interested in them. I would not, I did not marry another coin collector who was collecting prior, but I'll have to convince her. 1815. This is a 2 kopeck coin, a little bit later from Alexander, but a larger face value denomination. Live coin Q&A has been taking a break. Gotcha. I feel like it's a lot of production value. I mean, I only am doing about a show, or not a show, a video per week, just so that I can keep the shows. And I try to take like 24 hours off each weekend, generally like around church, but sometimes it's not around church, but just to like relax. And copper octagon Janus type gens, I don't think I've got those. Fantastical 1816 copper 2 kopeck in front of us here. Russia, yeah, for sure. Let's try. I think those will all be dollar start coins. Up, I got a little handful. Oh, we do actually have some Roman dollar start stuff. So people who wanted that will be happy. Let's see. This one is going to be a 10 kopecks. We'll do 15 seconds of pop on these. Nice little Tsarist Russia types. So fun that we get to offer these guys. These are going to be 1912 10 kopecks. Spy coins, Astro K in the lead there, and they are just, you know, some, yeah, very classic sharp condition 1912, and we got a range of dates, I believe, though maybe a little consistency to start out the night is never a bad thing. And we should hop on with a giveaway as well soon. This one is going to be the same date, and then I think the next one will be a 1913. Let's find a giveaway here. Very nice. The taller sounds good, Ruger. We might have to come back to it. I did want to run through. We're on a little bit of a Russian tour at the moment. Ooh, this one's actually quite solid looking. I can't promise anything, but the condition on that does look a little sharper than normal to me. What do you guys think? Don't have any of those with me here, and Jay Dizzle will get towards that as we go. I think that'll be, I guess, 3 coins away at this point. This one also is going to be really pretty solid looking, a little bit better shape than some of the first ones that we led off with. But let me pull that taller request. On that one, I think I paid like $259, so it will be, I'm going to sell it for more than that, obviously, somewhere in the mid 300s, I would caution. But you take a look at the coin we sold. I bought 2 of them. We sold the other one in the last show. Here's a 1914. Also in pretty good shape. It has the same, actually. I never noticed that about these. It also has the rider, and this one's in great condition, so you can see it clear as day in front of you. That one will go to Astro K, and then the very last is going to be this 1915, which is in good but not great condition. And then we have the 123 BC denarius, and there's also some other like Soviet era silver that I was going to include in this kind of Russia focused. And then there should be some, you know, again, I did want to deliver on having a dollar start forward atmosphere here this evening. This one should, I think, get some bids here at 55 start. It's a worn denarius, sure. There's the head of Roma, but I think that that's a pretty decent place to buy. This is a Roman Republican, so is going to be earlier than the imperial denarii that you may be used to. Yeah, kind of interesting. There's also some, we do have some Russian silver that's going to be way like medieval, and then there's also some other like medieval types that would fall under the, like, you know, under the category of Russian. These are like Kievan Rus, but 1923 RSFSR. There's the hammer and sickle, always interesting. These types, and that one will go to Astro K as the first bidder. We will see what's next. These are going to be, again, 15 seconds. 1923 brass or bronzy. Yeah, let's run. I know I uploaded a good number of them. and I sold a few. I'm trying to remember what would be a skew. Can you see any skews that have a bunch of them, Baffy? I want to make sure that I get those for you. And we can even take a mini break, though. I'm going to keep running the Russian. More of a Lenin or Trotsky guy. I don't want to sound uneducated, Spencer, and say somebody horrible. Can you educate us all, and we can all? Well, the problem is we'll definitely get political, and then maybe I'll get kicked off, whatnot. But I'm regardless open to running, or not running, but talking about, do I like Lenin? Sounds like a great, or do I like Trotsky? Maybe I like R-Spec. Let me pull that one. Yep, that one is out and pulled. I mean, I feel like I'm worried. I'll tell you some personal experience. So my German ancestors fled Soviet Germany, East Germany. They lost their apartment. They just had to go. The wall was going up, and they got in a train and left. And the communists stole all their stuff. So that's kind of how I feel about Stalin. And there was a statue of Stalin that some of my grandpa's friends, they would run around and try to like deface, and that guy, one of those guys, got sent off to a Siberian camp. So I do not like. I think by default, I can tell you how my family feels about Lenin. But they then met up. It was my grandpa. Getting chills thinking about it. It was the craziest day of his life. He said he was in, I think, somewhere rural on a hunting trip with his German friend, who was a butcher, and they got news that the wall came down. And I think he even met up with some of the guys that got sent off to the gulag in, on Facebook later on. Kievan Rus, yeah, I should have a little bit of Kievan Rus. It's like the last of my stock. Let's get some for Baffy. I feel bad. I've been kind of dragging my feet. I just know that there was. I'm going to type it in myself. I'll put in AE Jetton, and there should be a bunch, and we'll dollar start them all. WY14, that's what I'm looking for. We're going to do a little break, then we'll do Kievan Rus and the remainder of the Soviet. We also have some nice. But anyways, that's my family's experience with communism, and it was crazy. You had to like always report your neighbor, all kinds of insane things. The biggest teachers in public school would be saying how great the communists were, and then they'd defect themselves. Really, really interesting. This one's 1652, should have a good bit of juice beyond that. Yeah, I mean, so it's something, that he's always like, I feel like skeptical of governments and stuff, but you kind of become skeptical of governments when everybody's ratting each other out and getting thrown in a gulag. Omnibus non sibi. Yes, Stasi, exactly. That's exactly what the situation was going to be. And I mean, it makes sense. Like, obviously, there's some things you want to work with the gov on, but if there's a bomb threat, you want to immediately report. That's gonna. The Givvies TS they're not anything too expensive. It's a mix of like German not Geld. I'd probably say they're about $4 to $5 coins. Maybe if I'm retailing them, they'll go a little bit higher than that. This one has some scratches on the front. Just want to call that out. But it has the late Cuncta Profunda on the back. We'll do 2 more of these, then we'll do the remainder of the. Oh yeah, and the biblical. I know. Well, I did a lot of Russian, so I do kind of want to do some of the. While in France, oh, that's a good idea. It's a good way to get me to do it too. Let me see. We got some rivalry with Spain. Scratches sounds good. Schlepster. Let me find this Ecu coin. It'll probably be like a $99 start. Just looking at the word Ecu on screen. But there's some other ones. It'll make some people mad too because I'll run that one after not having run some other types. That one will go to Smallwood. Nice win. We will try this one. Very well sold to me. This in terms of how we are going to get there. This one will keep it sudden death, and then we'll do something biblical. 1735. It looks like this guy should bid up, even though it's pretty worn, as you can see. It also is pretty nice looking. Let me find the biblical types. I'm going to run some of the like basic Widow's Mites for a $32 start. That one will go to Schlepster. Crusade related, I'm pretty much out of, but I have some, I guess I have some like folk denier. If you look up denier, that's probably going to be the Crusader era one. Okay, these actually are a little bit better than normal. I'm not going to change them from the start price. I've sold hundreds at the 32. Countermark stuff I don't have much of. This one, though, you can see so much of the Judean lettering around that. It's not even a bad dealer buy. And this would have been Alexander Janaeus, 103 to 76 BC, fairly crudely struck. Ancient Judean coin. We can also run a couple with bronze disease. That one will go to J Dizzle. Will then run this next one. Yeah, it's a French. I think it's Count of Anjou, Count Folk. Possibly would be interesting. You can see the star on both sides, the star and the, I guess, anchor. All of these have been handpicked. I mean, I'll tell people, what I'll do is I'll often, on the mites particularly, like I'll often wholesale a bunch of them like 50, 100 at a time in the mid 20s. And that way I can kind of get my money back on them, and I'll try to sell the nicest ones. So that's kind of how I pick. They're consistently so nice. That one's really solid. And you see the star a little bit off center on the back of here. Was he king of Jerusalem? Because I think, I'm actually not sure where they're struck. I'm under the impression that he would have been, and maybe I've been way underselling those coins. What is going on, Lord Draco? Good to see you. We've got we also have, again, as I mentioned, some really nice, and then we have to eventually circle back to the Kievan Rus and some of the other expensive types here, but I do want to get some of the Kievan Rus, but I also am like, I have these nice VF and choice VF ones that I would have paid much more, double the 32, more than double the 32 is what I paid for them. Some of the nicer shaped ones, fantastic star there. I'd be shocked if that one didn't get a bid at the last second. And we'll go to 36. Napoleon, tell me a skew on those. I'm not sure exactly what we're working with here. This one's going to be 94 bucks. I'm going to try to make about $20 on this guy. This is a very solid shape VF condition with a great cornucopia. And then it's going to be the Maccabean Kings. And you can see fantastic ancient Judean inscriptions on the other side of it. Really, really solid. We've sold a good number of these. We can always come back to them. And we have a choice VF if people are looking to spend about 109. We also, I talked about Dollar Start Pruda. Let me try like a very small handful of them. These are bronze diseased ones. Judean types, 15 seconds. But you can see pretty good detail on them, at least to an extent. This one actually might be like there you can see the cross cornucopia. The bronze disease is not too bad either. It's just like little splotches, and you can see the Judean lettering there. Joe Man going to win those. So let's see. This one looks like a classic Janaeus type, if you were asking me, based on that side of the coin. And again, are these bronze disease or are they just a little bit, it's like, I don't know how active they are basically, but I did have a handful. Whoa, the next one is like totally beautiful and does look like it has bronze disease. Lead Napoleon, I bet that one's like 49, or it's sold in a collection of 12 that at one point before I got my hands on it sold for like 50, 60 bucks a coin. Take a look at how beautiful this thing is. Tiniest blotch there, but I mean, really, really nice ancient Judean Pruda, super well centered. Again, calling out the bronze disease. A lot of people say they can clean them. I just don't know how to clean ancient coins. I'm not sure exactly what the portrait's going to be. But yeah, a lot of people can clean ancient coins. I think I've heard of sodium sesquicarbonate as a possible solution, but I don't want to give advice on stuff I don't know how to do. There you can see again, wow, really nice around the edges. Same thing. Super, super solid. We've got a nice mix of this again before we go to the Kievan Rus is the plan here. Let's see, this one similarly, man, seems like it's tough to find these that don't look very nice. Great. That could be Herodian actually, and that hardly has any incrustation. If it does, I mean, I guess maybe it does, but that's a cool type. Very, very clear Pruda. Eventually we'll get one that's really tough. This one is not quite as nice, I would say. I'm having trouble discerning the design, but again, they're from the same group offered by the same seller. So let's see that one. There's a handful of these left. Let's see if there's any more here. This one is going to be, yeah, I mean, there you can see pretty good detail there. There's the cornucopia. As you can very clearly see, there's the other side of the coin, just the tiniest little hints around the side. DW, I assume that means distilled water, in case there's anybody inspired. How long do you have to leave them in the sodium sesquicarbonate? Here we've got, again, fantastic two. There's the cornucopia. These actually don't even, I mean, I guess there could be bronze. There must have been a touch on it for me to put them in here. I'm pretty conservative in terms of what I send in because it costs me money if I send in for the graders and they reject it because of bronze disease. I have to pay the full price on it, and so I get upset at that. I'd rather avoid that. Here you can see clearly, this one looks like Alexander Janaeus because it appears that there's that like little flower. It looks like there's 3 more of these. They all might end up being pretty nice, the ones that we've got left. Smallwood Johnson, Darth Aurelius, Coin Hunter, going to win that one. And then we've got, looks like 1, 2, 3. Do we have a 4th one? Maybe there's a 4th one out there floating somewhere. Yes, there is a 4th one. Sorry about that. Again, really decent type. That one's super clear. Again, this would make good cleaning projects. I think the resulting proto would probably look nice if you could get rid of the bronze disease. This one looks like a little worse shape. Sorry that, again, we've done a lot of these. We got the Kievan Rus. Totally. Lubricant. That's kind of, okay. That's funny name. Good thing I was pronouncing it a little more French style. Let me know if there's any ancient coin questions you have. I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll be honest, there's no way that I'm the smartest person at ancients in this room. This one has a little bit of bronze disease, but a super clear. That one actually looks Herodian. If I believe that could be Herodian. A little more incrustation on this side, but that longer looks like it would be King Herod the Great, 40 to 4 BC. I believe that that's the case. And so I think attractive. And the last of this mix is going to be right here. We've got a beautiful looking, with just a touch right there. You can see on one side the sun anchor and the Janaeus with great Judean lettering. That is a nice coin. And Barry Call, any widow's mite? These are widow's mites. That one's going to go to Smallwood. Then I was promising the Kievan Rus. Let's see where those are. They should be like WX12. Yep, WX12, WX12. We'll do at least like 1 or 2. We might not do. I think I brought the remainder of my inventory. These are pretty solid. These are like Janny Beg, mid 1200s, 1300s. Islamic or Mongol golden horde dangs. I got a cheap price on them. Little silver coins. Should bid up from here. I used to start them at like 12. They would all sell. 11 is a price I'm very comfortable offering them at. You know, it's not gonna cry over $1 or something. Just very eloquent. Also different designs. This one's pretty attractive looking, and you can ID them further. I don't want to promise that they're Kievan Rus like exactly, but they're Islamic Golden Horde. I think that they're near Sarai Mint. That could be a little bit off. Dang, that's funny. That's a little pun. I see you. Might run one more here, then we can continue to pick up with the Jettons. I know that there's biblical interest. And some of the dollar start Romans we had talked about. There's also some silver Jettons. If Baffy's still here, I'll run like 4 of them if I can get my hands on them. But I want to protect some so that they're not, that Baffy does have a standing shot at those coins because he's the man. Ooh, interesting. Didn't realize that I was dollar starting this one. It's a very nice Eagle style Jetton. I wish it would center. Come on. 1653. I guess we'll have to look at it from afar. King Louis. That one will go to B Farm. I feel like Ancients are really fun because there's just so much learning around them. Here we have, I think that there's like 2 more of these Soviet coins. Not that I'm out of them, but I'm definitely running low. Astro K leading CCCP very clearly. That's like just basically like the USSR, but in the Cyrillic, I believe. Old US, I don't have too much of. Wish I did, but I find I'm mostly buying from dealers as opposed to buying from the public. So if you're buying collections off the street, often you can give good deals on US, but I'm buying them from other dealers. That kind of makes sense. So ends up being tougher for me to get like I often find that I'll sell this stuff for very affordable. And so yeah, I mean, I think the nice thing about ancients, I'll run a couple soon. I did want to try. These are nice 1 mark coins of Wilhelm, the first in Germany. In terms of the melt price on one of these, they're 90% silver. It's a little bit over $12, and normally they bid solidly beyond there. Oh, the taller, yeah, R-spec. That one will go a touch ahead of melt, so not horrible, not insane. I think this is the taller that you were looking for, or was it the other one? We can run the other one if it was. This should be kind of pricey, and so dollar start. I'm in a good mood. 1794, nice Bavarian under Charles Theodore. This one actually looks really nice. Let's take a look at the rim. It's got some nice edge lettering there. Should be a couple meaningful steps ahead of $78. But currently going back and forth again on a nice Bavarian style taller. $91. It's a good little treat. Nice win for Schlepster. This one is the pricier one. This one's like I sold the other one either $359 or $349. We'll try this for $334. I'd like to find a new home for it. 1763, Free Imperial City of Nuremberg. Very pretty. BCA 0051. Sure. Let me just find it. There it is. Ruger going to be the first bidder. I'll flip it around. 975. That's a good coin. I don't know exactly why it's BC. Like why I'm not. You know, I think I got this maybe in a package that got returned. Very beautiful because it didn't like have an address. WX. What type of coin is that? The 36 or whatever. I'm sure we can try it out. We also have a little more like cool dollar start stuff. A2, A3. What? I don't want to promise, but it doesn't look like the A1 anonymous phallus. Basically, that first type. There were a couple different examples, and we'll start this. The last one sold for 15, which was probably about the smallest I wanted to sell it for, just with where melt is at and where I can rebuy them. 1876. I think these can have a little more than that. Oh yeah. Let me pull it up. Those I don't really know what they should be, and it's kind of like I think I bought them actually from Argentina. I'll probably try to get like a little more of a retail price on those, if that makes sense. We'll do a handful of more marks. This one is going to be 1881. A lot of different mint marks and stuff. A mint mark is going to be the Berlin mint, but the tricky thing about the Germans is that they did not make it so that their coins were all like A equals, I don't know, what's a city? Isn't Aachen in Germany? Like, can we name, let's see how many names I can make it. B would be Berlin, C would be Cologne, but they would say Köln, which is K start. D would be Dresden, E would be, oh, I'm getting stuck. What's an E city in Germany? Oops, dang. This one's going to go way under melt. I just was too excited about running coins and people got me. I'm trying to think of an E city in Germany. Essen? I think Essen is going to be. Yes. Oh, yeah. No, I'm messing around and just like trying to find in my mind, like, can I name cities that start with that letter in Germany for no other? I hope it's not too irritating, but I was just like having fun with it. WY2307. Sure, I think that's a real expensive coin, if I remember correctly. Is that one of the Kilfrome Hoard types? 15. I feel like, yeah, the intro books are definitely a good place to start. Firth, yup. G, what would be a G? Okay, then we'll do one more of these. Maybe we can always come back to them. I do want to show a couple $1 start ancients, which I don't have too many of. Yeah, Wayne Sales, he's awesome. I think I don't know him, but I assume he's pretty nice. I think WX 3609. I'm gonna just basically mark this coin up to try to make $25 on it, just to explain my pricing. I might be way off. I might be way under on this coin right here. I paid $116 for it, so to make $25, about $149. And I'm not going to be offended if people think that's way high or way low. Hopefully, it's not way low. Country coin, it sounds like it might have been on the lower side. 1851, nice Argentinian Cordoba 4 reals coin. I think I've got one other that would be starting a little bit back of there. Started at 129 in a similar effort to make, I think on this one, like $25. It's the last one from this buy. Well, let's do it at a rate where I'm going to make like 20, 25. Here is the 2 reals, 1844, Confederata. And then we asked for the Hoard types. Oh, but we wanted to do a couple dollar start ancients. I had pulled a handful of them. These are going to be, okay, these are kind of a complicated one for a first time ancients bidder, but these are like, so there's the Gallic Empire in the mid. I'll run this first one for 30 seconds, and then we'll do the other couple way quick. These would have been imitative coins. This was a breakaway empire under Posthumus. He breaks away from Gallienus and Valerian and what's like modern day France and Britain. These would have been struck, though. This is like a super barbarous looking example, which basically means it just wasn't official. So you can see the lettering, like the C in Tetrachus is going to be backwards. I guess this one would be Tetrachus CAES. So this would be a type of Tetrachus II, which is rarer for, oh, well, that's already said. Yeah, these should be imitative, exactly. So it would have, they're a little rarer than, like this one, I'm saying either the back of this coin, though, looks super imitative to me in terms of the lettering style, but I don't want to promise anyone anything. But that just doesn't look like how they would have struck non-imitative types. You can see pretty clearly Tetrachus CA and no beard. Tetrachus and his son Tetrachus II, who we're selling right here, would have been the last. That one's going to be a little bit of a loss. I'll still sell the last one for $1 start, and we'll see what happens. This one may not be barbarous. It's got actually quite a nice flan on there, and Pax, that's going to be this does not look barbarous to me. Very nice style. Unclear who yeah, we can try some of the Napoleonic. That would be really fun. That one will go to Spy Coins. 59.86. Feel like I should 59.08603. I can do a couple more of the Kievan Russ types. 20 seconds. This is going to be Italian Napoleonic. I did not. Does it have a grade on there? I've searched for it. I can find Thrace Byzantium. I also have some graded Chinese I don't have. You know what? Is it a little fraction? I sent a bunch of coins to an auction because like it is silly. It's, I feel like it's people can say, oh, I get low prices all the time. There's plenty of stuff that I get strong prices on. This one's pretty nice looking. But Greek fractional is often really expensive. So I think I sent some of those to auction, maybe at Heritage or one of the other firms. Scottish. Oh, interesting. Gladiator. I mean, we have some. And then the other thing that there's a debate is some people say it's, nobody should grade coins or put them in an NGC holder, even if they don't have a grade. I kind of like it. And I'll say, look, obviously I'm going to charge more if something's in a holder than not. And so, the coins themselves would be cheaper if they weren't in the holders, of course. If I had something, that's a good price on that coin. Do we have more? I think that was fairly affordable. We'll do another one right here. Yeah, I think that Thrace is actually probably not with us, and I feel bad. I'll remove it. There's a bunch of other Thracian types though. I think that one is headed to some kind of auction firm. And then last but not least is this little Centesimo. Yeah, exactly. So I'll run a couple. We start them for like 27, and they generally are going to bid higher. I'll do one of Aurelian with pretty decent eye appeal at a 27 start. It's a Billion double denarius. They also would have called these Antoninianus. I've been repeating this ad nauseum since I read it. I was reading a book over the weekend about ancient coins. Why do they call them Antoniniani? Here it says double denarius, but Antoniniani, it derives from Antonine. Caracalla is the first person who issues one of these with a radiate crown, supposed to symbolize 2 denarii worth. It says Jovi Conservas or something, protector of emperors, I believe. Military ruler there. And so, the next one is really sharp eye appeal as well. These are going to be, so they named, but his official name was Antoninus, not Caracalla. So it could have been, what would it have been, the Caracallianus or something. But instead, this one's a very, again, sharp Aurelian bust with a great, who is that? Is that Dacia or something? It says ACI. Not exactly clear. And then we have a couple of those Romano-Gallic breakaway empire types. We'll go to Jack Joe. Yep, we'll do the Peru. What's the melt on there? I'll probably start for about $10 above that. The earlier ones were selling for way more that I offered. Here is a Tetrachus. Then on the reverse, super clear, it says AUG. So that's a pretty nice reverse for that type. The next one is going to be a different reverse type. Yeah, let me pull that so it's at the front and in my memory, or like in my awareness. Coin Hunter, gonna snag that one. We've got a bunch of, I'll mix in while I try to find some more of these, and man, that's a nice portrait. The Agrippa Augustus, I actually don't know. AD 46. Can we come back to that one in a little bit? I prefer to maybe come back to it touch later. We've got some great Hadrians. We have Aspavarma. We have some pricier ones. This one is going to be a Hadrian denarius. We start these guys for about $64. Hadrian was one of the 5 good emperors. And, he's looking pretty solid there. Looks like a seated portrait on the reverse, like some kind of winged being. The next one also is really solid. These denarii would have been like the base silver unit in the Roman Empire. Those farthings. It's a nice collection that we bought on the farthings. There's just tons of them. And we tried to keep the original tags with it, which we can't always do. I'm not going to raise the price on this from 64. I think it's nicer than the last one. It's a really solid looking Hadrian. That one is going to be Providentia. There's a little scratch through it. But man, the detail on that is really super solid. Nazi money. We can't sell stuff with a swastika on here. I think we have some on the bay. We do have some Third Reich German medals that I think Isaiah just got in. They don't have that swastika, so that's just how I want to follow the rules. And so we don't offer them here. This one's going to be Trajan. Some scratches, but it looks like CONI Max. I don't know. Kind of interesting. I do have German. I have non-Nazi German coins, but I don't have any of the Third Reich ones. Should be with underscores, Treasure Town coins. But yeah, I feel like they complement each other pretty well. do a lot more volume on whatnot. Ooh, that's super cool. It looks like, I think this is a military standard, shields at the bottom, nice reversed type right in that example. And then we sold a bunch. We sold, how many was it? I think we sold the first 5 that we offered. We have some better condition denarii as well. These are going to be Lucillas. The comp on eBay that sold in Choice VF was 180. There's a Choice XF, which is kind of interesting price at I think 90 on eBay, but then the other VFs, not even Choice VFs, are all 100 or like 200 plus. Great Venus on the reverse of this one. You can see what grade Choice VF. Clearly, this is the daughter of Marcus Aurelius. And AstroK, I'm forgetting what you requested, but I want to make sure that I at least address it. There was, I know, something that you had mentioned. Nice win there. We've got next up Lucilla. 139 start. I'm going to keep pulling these coins. WX84. Oh, there's the farthings. Let me just pull the farthing collection. I would like to kind of start them at least 12 bucks. Again, daughter of Marcus Aurelius. Let's see what that spells. Lucilia. I can't tell exactly the top lettering. Oh, I think Antonine. Referencing her Antonine origins. And then is this, I think it's like Pudicitia or something like that. Really nice coin. I think good eye appeal. If the last one didn't sell, I think this has a standing shot. And then we will pivot into some of the other requests. I know Peru also seemed to make an appearance there. Farthings, yup. We just have a great mix of coins for pretty much all night. Maybe not quite all night, but I'll do the Peru first, then we'll do the farthings. If there's any other interesting, we'll go to Texas, unless somebody else jumps in on it. We've got a couple more of those, but here's a Peruvian one sol. We'll start it for 74 bucks. Beautiful 1865 sol. Half crown in the queue for sure. Jesse Tay. W92. Half crown's always great. Our spec. Gonna grab one, and then let's try to run some nice. They have these charming, like, super aged tickets on there. This one has some pretty solid deposits there. Let's do a dollar start. This side is really quite nice eye appeal. This lovely Yarmouth Christ Cousins in the Grocer's Arms CAC. There are some of the deposits, which I think could be removed because there's nice coin underneath there, but fantastic style right there on that front. Of course, our spec. I think that was a good price. I can't get every last buck on these guys. Ooh, that one's nice too. These are like the Condor tokens, except earlier these would have been struck in the 1600s. So much earlier, and they would have been very local. They're a little less well collected than the Condors, of which I also brought some. TSA on that one, Yarmouth and Norfolk. This one doesn't have the deposits, so it should bid up a good touch ahead of the other type. Zeppelins, I don't think I have. Reichsmark, no, but I do have a good number of just regular Second Reich German types. We'll go 15 seconds just to kind of keep speeding things up here. This one has what looks like a pretty pleasing sea anchor, which is interesting maritime reference. They would have had a strong navy back then, 1654 WBA. Very nice. Let's see what else we've got. This GW, this would be Yarmouth. And again, note the quick end. This one has very good eye appeal, I would say, in terms of just well struck. And the GW is not George Washington. It's Gabriel Woodruff. I think at 12 bucks, that's a nice pickup. We'll try. Let's see. This one here feels pretty thick, and it, in fact, is. Ooh, this one could be a good one. City Arms will give this one 20 seconds. There's a little bit of a hit in the planchet, but man, that thing is nice. Reminds me of the Dutch Duets a bit, but it is a Norwich farthing, 1667. Again, with note that hit to the side. 1667. A Norwich farthing. That one will be headed to Astro K. Right here we've got, let's see, 1670, a Norwich farthing, like so. Very nice style. Do we have any more? No, this looks like the last Norwich farthing. Do we still want more of these types or not? Tons. Oh yes, the Swedish ones. Those would be very fun to run. We're gonna run the one that's in front of me right here, Samuel Crawford. This is actually going to be a lower grade coin, but it's nice. I think it's his halfpenny. Yeah, his halfpenny. I think that penny is misspelled. It just says P-E-N-Y. And we will try to go find our great Swedish or Norwegian, whatever. Forgetting exactly. 8418. There's two WX84s. Ooh, one's a nice chunky Russian type. That's a nice one at $8. 1750. Oh no, confusing myself a little bit here. Okay, this is I'm going to change this. It's actually a slightly different coin. It is a 1802. Sorry, this is 1802 Sweden, as shown on screen. Basically, I feel bad, but I put the wrong coin in. Oh yes, that's right, Astro K. Thank you for keeping me honest. We'll get that one. There's also a nice 2 kopecks. That's like the 5 kopek equivalent. We also do have some 5 kopecks. Sorry about that, King Cole, on the miss ID. Chunky Skilling coin. We do have more Swedish stuff too, so definitely not the end for Sweden. We're going to run this one. This one should actually go kind of, not like, I don't want it to say like it needs to be super pricey, but it's a nice Elizabeth Petrovna 2 kopecks with a fantastic slaying of the dragon on this side of the coin. We'll do that half crown and then come back to some more Swedish types. That is, I think, a appealing spot for Astro K. Nice win. Let's get the this very good looking half crown. 1885. See this one definitely stretching higher. It's nice. Oh, hey, great win at $33. Think that you will be very pleased with your coin, and it's also important. I can't have a home run on every exact coin that I offer. We'll run some earlier, kind of better, but low percentage silver, but nice eye appeal. 1732 Billen ore, Austrian. I have some of the German stuff. We've been starting those at 15, and some of them bid into the 30s, so they're really all over the place. This one should have a little bit of juice left to go. Great win for Paperboy. And maybe this is like sending things. I mean, this one has great detail into a shredder, but we're just going to run the other example that I have. 1723, really solid looking. Good detail through the 3 crowns. There's the F monogram for King Frederick. And then we have looks like limited number of Swedish or Danish. Okay, I think one of these might be, the ID is a little bit off on it. John will win that coin. Here we've got, this is a Danish coin, not Sweden. Still fun, but it's not Swedish. This is a 10 ore. I think it's like 40% silver. Has a nice portrait there of King Frederick the 8th, but again, mis-ID'd coin. Still very fun. Astro K will snag that one. Then this one, 1919. 10 ore is going to be a King Christian the 10th. That one actually is in pretty good shape. And then we'll do some of the German. These would have been, I think, under Wilhelm the First. This first one is going to be 1876, right after German unification. Going to be 90% silver. well collected, I would say. Good amount of collector interest basically in this type. So let's see. I think I have like maybe 5 total left, yeah, 5 total-ish left. This one's nice. We will run the last of those, but keep me updated. Yeah, Austrian, I probably have some Austrian, though, in here somewhere. Ryan Cav. I think there's 12 and change of melt in these guys, so the nice thing is it's like, it's for your collection, but there's also a component of silver value at the end of the day. Yeah, WY 2091. Let's see what that coin is. We can run, I'm sure, some of those. Ryan Cav in the lead. And those ones might be tapering off a touch, which is also very much okay. We'll do one more of these, then maybe we'll jump over to the other types. And it says that payment went through. Fantastic. And we're going to run... Oh, that one actually has good eye appeal. 1904. Very solid looking. We can always come back to the last 2 that I have. Texas in the lead. Corkscrew going to win it. And then... Let's see, dollar start on this. I'll be curious where it lands. These are all pretty worn for the most part, but it's still a decent looking farthing. Britannia. I don't know how exact the comp is of the British Statue of Liberty, but yeah, kind of interesting. And $5. Hey, it's good to get people some budget pickups. This one, a little tougher normally to find, though it's kind of been hit a good bit. This is going to be a King William farthing. We've also got a King George. So a couple different types here. And I'm thinking we might try to go for some bigger examples as well. But 1826, okay, this is, I think, the one I was thinking of. It's worn down, but actually there's a good amount of detail on this one. 1826, pretty decent eye appeal. And then we can do an earlier example too. Gabe gonna win that one. Here we've got a King George, a Georgian halfpenny. If you can ID it, good luck. I can't quite make it out, but that does look like King George. Athena. We have a couple Athenian owls. Yeah, I mean, they're not inexpensive, but new buy, gonna win that for $1. Nice win. AD 9216. This is probably like a 284 is gonna be the price with no sudden death. It's just got a really nice owl on there. Yeah, nice looking, a little bit pitted, but there's Athena on the front of the coin. There's the owl on the back. Very pretty. As I really run down on these in my inventory, the prices go a little closer to retail. BCA 0113, what is that coin? And try and go look for it, which could be fun. I'm also thinking, why not? Oh, it's a metal. Let me just look. See if I can pull it really quickly. I don't know. I mean, it looks kind of nice. Is Baffy here? I kind of want Baffy to see it. Philip the Arab, sure, Astro. In the meantime, we can run this random one. Bob Womack, Cripple Creek. Oh yeah, sounds good, King Cole, and sounds good to all of these requests. The Arab, Philip the Arab, King Cole. I'll get some of those shortly. Philip and XF. I'm just gonna look for here as we auction, and I'll do my best, I promise. Or are those some of the kind of pricey tetradrachms? They're really nice looking, and they unfortunately are not too cheap. Let's try. I've not offered a single one of those, so I've kind of been curious about how they would run. They have kind of fun, like, They might be a little bit later, but here's like William Penn. I mean, it might be also, these could have been struck at any point after. Maybe they're from the 90s or something, but it kind of looks like a little bit older than the 90s. I'm not exactly sure. This one is going to be the first Hall of Fame of Great Americans medal. It says 1966 dated right there. Medallic Art Co. Very nice. Thy God bringeth thee into a good land. And I paid double digits for them, so we'll see where this one lands. And it'll be headed to Ogre Time. Congrats. I could see maybe running a handful more, but William Penn, I mean, I think that's who the very academic school of Penn is named for. Let's see. This one is going to be Joseph Henry, Hall of Fame of Great Americans. Oh, that one actually has a really nice relief. Take a look at that. 1972, Joseph Henry. Any sports figures? I see Alice Freeman Palmer, Channing, Edwin Booth. Nice win for Corkscrew. Let's see. I think I might start them so that I don't lose money, which is not too much more, but I don't want to lose any bucks on these. We'll do one more, then we'll maybe go to something else, and we can sell them over time. This one is going to be a nice Alice Freeman Palmer, New York University, advancing the woman's role in America, dedicated pioneer. Interesting. Cistercius, any specific Cisterci that you're interested in? That one will go to King Cole. Nice win. Then we have the Philip in XF. Those are just a little, they're tougher to like start a bunch of in a row, if that makes sense. So there we go. We'll sell those over time. We've got these ones. Let me look for what the cheapest on eBay is going to be. Philip Tetradrachms NGC. On eBay, the cheapest you can buy one of these for of the Cyro, you can get a VF for $125 that looks horrible compared to this Choice XF. You can buy a Choice XF that I think looks terrible relative for $150. The first one that looks similar in terms of the quality, I mean, I don't want to charge too much either, but Philip the First, I'm thinking like $179 on this guy. Maybe $169 since Astro requested it, but let's see. There we go, $169. No sudden death. Very, very elegant portrait. Steve B. Going to be the first bidder with the left facing. I didn't realize that was a little tougher to find. Oh yes, T.S. Burkhart, AD 460505. Let me find it. Nice win for Steve. AD 460505. It's right there. Why don't we dollar start this one? It's a cut half, but it actually looks pretty good, and you have the crocodile on there. It shouldn't be like a super small dollar coin. Very, very appealing. This is going to be struck around 10 AD, but then there's a big feud, and they cut these coins in half. But this one's still in very solid shape. So this is going to be a half-ass coin. It's not a bad word. It is, and there were two portraits, one facing right, one facing left. And I think 16 was a little less than I was hoping for. So nice win. Fantastic outcome there. And I'm pumped on your behalf. Here's another left facing. Let's see, it's beautiful. There is a little graffito on there. I just want to call that out. A little bit of scratches by the face there, which is fairly common on these. We'll start it for 159. Again, graffito. Let's see if you can see. It's like little etchings in the side. Beautiful reverse eagle. Fantastic Syrophoenician style. Have a good one, Astro. Thanks again for popping in. We've got a lot of good coins here, a lot of good dollar start material. Let's find. Oh, these have been really popular in this up the Swedish style. This is going to be possibly a contemporary counterfeit by Eustratia Dabija. These are going to be solid eye in Billen, very clear lettering. I think this was 1655. That's what that 5 is telling us on that side of the coin. And then a very super clear monogram CG. $5 is a great one for Paperboy. Last show, these guys were, I would say, considerably hotter. We'll see where this one lands. Any more English crowns? I don't think so, but maybe I did upload a couple. I'm not exactly sure. There's that super clear CG. And they can really just come in all styles and types of conditions. Corkscrew, we're going to take that one. Let's see one more of these. This one is fantastic. Should bid really solidly. This one looks really nice. CG. That one is from 1655. There could be some English half crowns. I think we probably start those around 39 bucks. And that one will go at $9. Maybe I'll save the other two. We also have some nice. We have a good mix across the board of different types here. We have Ottoman silvers. We also have like medieval Afghan coins. The stag types here. AE 440906. These I've been starting for about 14 to 19, and they've been very popular. We're going to give it 20 seconds. You can see on this one, fantastic Islamic script, and then on this side, often takes me a little while to find the stag. Believe that it's there. What is the most interesting to me? I mean, it's so easy for me to just come up with an answer, right? Nice win for John. Let's see, I'll make this one easy. This one very clearly has the stag facing to the left. You can see that. These are kind of cool. Like, the nice thing is that a lot of these are not too expensive. There you can see the stag. It's facing, these don't come struck that well. You can see the 4 legs. But like these are like Afghan coppers that were countermarked to have 2 dinars of value in a short-lived period before the Shayabandid Empire. I mean, it's the kind of thing that's like really kind of crazy and random. And so it's super fun that it makes it on a coin, if that makes sense. We also have some medieval Hungarian. We have just a very large mix, really. Lysimachos, I do not have any of. We will dollar start this guy. Nice Parvis coin. This would have been Sigismund the First, actually, who reigned a long time, 1387 to 1437. Back of cost at the moment. I sold all the ones that I started at 14 bucks in my last show, and that's not surprising to see that bid up a little bit there. Nice Parvis coins. Always, it doesn't run out in terms of the popularity of these guys. Clear cross on the back there. Paperboy sounds good. Let me pull that. While we wait, we can maybe do, continue to offer some of that collection. This was a nice buy, and I literally somebody bought 500, excuse me, of these from me the moment that I bought these. So yeah, this one's beautiful, very large flan. Yeah, so I was like, these guys are popular. But Ratcliffe, I haven't fully answered your question. I mean, some of the coolest ones are probably, I mean, I really like Hoard coins. That's where in England and a couple other countries, if you find stuff you can definitely keep it. Other times it's like kind of, it could be gray area, or in some places you can't keep it. And so the British Museum has recorded some of the coins. Now those ones are like $400 or something tonight. Rui's going to get that one. But like the Epfig ones are a little more common for Hoard types. We also have some South Petherton, I think, and then some Yorby Hoard shillings. We sold, I think, 4 of them in the last show. All started at 159. We could bring back. This is the last of these in tonight's show. Necessities. Okay, the thing that you have to watch out for is I'm trying to sell the coins. Anonymous Phallus. I think that's a good, do I have any Anonymous Phallus left? I'm not sure. I would say, I mean, I don't think I have any of them remaining. Do I have any Anonymous? Oh, it looks like maybe there's one Anonymous Phallus left. I wouldn't buy this one if you're just, if it's your first one, if that makes sense. I mean, you're probably like, why on earth am I not? Okay, shoot, I actually can't find that coin. Sorry, I'm gonna have to remove that coin. Yeah, it's basically a coin of the Byzantines with Christ's face very clearly on it. We can pivot, and this is really interesting. This is both Byzantine and Christian and Egyptian. Very unique type. This is Heraclius, and it's also the only of its denomination, 12 nummi. People wonder why they actually minted these coins, but you can see the cross very clearly on the back, minted in Alexandria. Cyzicus and Bosporus obols, let me pull those, 70 and 73. I think that the Bosporus is more pricey. The Cyzicus is really nice looking, but I think I would be shocked if it didn't go at 59 start. And I feel like there's Paperboy. We're going to get to that after the this detour to run just great. Christian, Byzantine, Egyptian 12 nummi. I is going to mean 10 nummi. B is going to be 2 nummi. And there you see even some script and their eyes, which is quite desirable on this type. That one will go to Coin Hunter. But I wouldn't say that these are like in the essential level. I just think that they're kind of cool curiosities, if that makes sense. I think you want a nice looking denarius. You want a nice looking Antoninianus. You want an anonymous phallus. I would recommend a tetradrachm. Those are going to be pricier. I don't even know if I have any great ones. So that one, like you want to have an Athenian owl. They're fairly plentiful, but that is not like your first coin you should buy. That's an expensive one. I have 2 more of these in tonight's show, by the way. And then we'll do the Cyzicus, and then we'll do... Oh, that's a beautiful cross. And there's also... Yeah, so I would say Anonymous Phallus, Denarius, Antoninianus, a bronze non-anonymous phallus, a tetradrachm. But that's also kind of a very European-centric view, which, I mean, I'm European and American. So there are like a Chinese cash coin can be bought really cheaply. You could buy, probably should have one Islamic coin. You should get the only ones I have left are pretty expensive, but like a widow's mite. I'm just naming popular coins at this point. Hopefully it didn't come across as too much of a sales pitch, especially since I didn't sell any of the types that I have. I could offer some of them, but I don't know if that makes sense. I'm always so nervous to be like, people just think I'm some... I'm obviously a salesman, if that makes sense, but I also, have the YouTube videos, try to educate people. This one, this is going to be Mary Kressner. This should bid up from 4 by a good bit. 5 is not super, super hot. That's okay. Happens sometimes. We are going to protect these next ones. We got to get, probably start in that, like, maybe $14 range, so I can make... These really all should bid up, but we will see. Maybe they won't. This is a nice looking of the his halfpenny from 1669, dated very clearly there. And it looks like some kind of grape bunch or something like that. Yeah, it is a grape bunch. Shane Holmes will win that one. I still think 18 is a good, good outcome. This one also has very solid detail. Should be measurably north of the start. Super clear. CA is going to stand for GA, George Adkison. Yeah, I mean, mint marks, so often, like, it's interesting. The earliest coins would have been minted specifically by cities. And so basically, if you had a coin at all of a type, it would have come from a specific city. But we'll show something cool. If there's interest in owls, we have owls. Um, there's the BIB, John Baythorne. Um, but then, so the owl was the dominant coin from 440 to 404 was really the peak. The ones that I have, I'll show one of these, kind of a retail price. There's a couple issues with it, and that there's a little bit of pitting, but the owl's really well centered, super nice buggy eyes. I'm not going to drop the price for the foreseeable future from this 284. So this would have been like the main coin originating out of the silver being mined in mostly Athens, Greece, but it then spread across. So there were very similar coins that would have been struck all over the ancient world because people knew, hey, owl is a nice coin. And so, as soon as like the 3rd century BC, I bought one of these coins. I'm going to ask a decently high price for it, but it's the kind of coin that is actually quite rare. Um, this is a 4A, so it's an imitation. It's not like an official strike. And I'm asking a very high, I mean, not very high, but I'm going to make like $120 on this if this sells, which is way more than I would normally. This is actually a Saudi Arabian area Lycian imitative owl tetradrachm. Really incredibly cool. I'm going to try to be back on tomorrow night. And so all across the ancient world, you would have seen owl types pop up. This is, again, one of these kind of like Lycian, crazy style. It's imitative. And then there were also people would say, hey, well, I know those owls. Those, look good to me. There's also smaller denominations because those tetradrachms are just not practical for use in commerce. So here, I think I paid $85, so I tried to get 119. Bought them from a dealer. Actually, maybe 109. Could see these bidding up. You can see the little owl fraction there. Very good eye appeal from Arabia Felix. That's like modern day Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and then you have a portrait of Athena on the other side of it as well. So shows how the impact could have spread across many different areas, and a lot of them you don't even know where they would have been minted. Have a great one, Shannon. It is fantastic to see you. I think I was very comfortable buying that. Somebody had asked, and I think I had forgotten about it. This is a really nice looking, this would have been struck at the city of Cyzicus for $59. I think this is a really solid price. You see the lion facing left, super clear portrait, and then a boar tunny on this side of it. Then there's also a Panticapaeum. That one will be pricier, probably like a $89 start or something like that. Other owls, I think I have a couple of other owls. This is going to be a hemiobol with like this facing head of a lion. Really solid look to it. Great detail in the lion's head. And then, yeah, would you like to see other, similar owls like the one I just offered, or because I think I have some. This one, Mithripoda, is going to be a $64 start, a little bit larger. I think it looks a little nicer than the last one. I just got a great deal on it. Has a little axe countermark, or not countermark, but like additional stamp beyond the triskelies. This is going to be a 390 to 360. There's the lion's head staring right at us. Really cool type. And so, one that I definitely enjoy. I think that they look great. Here's another one. We have some British, and so by the time these coins are getting struck, things start spreading. It's really Greek. This is Asia Minor, I believe. I think Lycia is in modern day Turkey. That was too small. Any really nice Vespasian denary with more interesting reverses? I don't think I do, and I don't want to disappoint you pretending I do. Yeah, I don't think that rings a bell. We've got a couple of these. Okay, well, I mentioned the British stater, which is fairly popular, I would say. I paid not a crazy amount for these guys. This is like, it's a stylized horse on the reverse. 129 is the start, and then it's a VF, a larger bill and stator with a Apollo's head, but then that stylized English, ancient English horse on the back. Kind of cool type. You know, not something that you see every day. And that one will maybe not go just today, but we have two more of these. These are a little nicer. They have crazy dolphins, which I think is fairly desired. I'm offering these at $79. Beautiful dolphin with the tri-scully on there. And then there's the lion's head. Vespasian denary, though. I don't think I have those for us today. As much as I'd love to. And then why don't we try, well, we've got one of these guys left. We'll also put on a giveaway. This one's in good shape. Let's do a, oh, that one's, you can see the 55 fairly clearly. So that would be dated to 1655. And Paperboy, Napoleonic. Asking for some awesome coins. I don't know that I have tons of kind of the ones that you're mentioning, which is obviously disappointing to me. I paid $10 on these, by the way, so we'll also start these at $14. These are Murad. This is the one of the last rulers before the Ottomans take down the Byzantines in 1453. So fairly pleasing. Hijri calendar 825, seen right there. Just kind of nice Ottoman silver. Yeah, I mean, my guess is that there's one in my inventory somewhere, but unfortunately I don't have it ready for us. Ooh, these were like hyper popular. I started them all at 49. I paid 42 for them. So, you know, trying to make at least, I guess like $3 or $4, but they all bid up some into the 80s from this same mix. Zoroastrian fire altar. These are going to be Peroz the first, from the mid to late 400s. Very nice style. There you see the Sasanian fire altar attendants, and a very classic type. Funny how it can be show to show, not in a in a bad way or anything, but just always interesting. Liberty dimes, I don't think I've got. So thank you for the question. Open to people's suggestions. We have plenty of types available, which is always exciting. Let's see, what is this one? Oh, nice. We've got some Shipwreck. Let's see. Keep me updated. I'll keep doing some dollar start stuff. Oh, that's fun. Thank you. I mean, I try to mix it up as well. Oh, yeah, a nice Portrait Grosso. That is going to be a good coin. I started the other one for 80, or no, for 55. It bit up a little bit. I think the ones I have left are pretty solid. Probably start that one for 55 too. Nice win for new. Yeah, I have a lot of the British. We'll do 55. It's got a little bit of like little chips in the flan, but the portraits are really nice, as you can see. And let me look for that Barry request. -010. Oh yeah, that's a good coin. It's kind of close to retail, I would say, in terms of how I'm going to price it. Just tough to find these guys, and mine looks really nice. So I'm looking for $279, no sudden death. Wrestler Stator. You see the AS Aspendus Pamphylia. I'm actually not sure, Steve. That's a really good question. But yeah, again, a little more of a retail price here. You can see some of the inscriptions on the back. Great, again, Wrestler Stator. Nice win for Barry. Maybe this isn't so smart, but I have to try something a little crazy. We'll do a dollar start on a full-on half Siglos from the 4th century with a great cow on a dolphin. Really, really interesting. You have a beautiful incuse punch on the reverse. That is a nice coin, and it's going to be ancient Thracian silver. I think it should have a little more room than the current, but you never know. I can't guarantee anything. So that's what makes the whatnot fun too. Anything can happen. And so that one will go for 54. I think that's a little bit of a kind of what I wanted out of it. A wholesale price for a coin that I think would be priced a little higher if I was doing fixed, but it's not a total disaster. Let's do a Epfig Hoard coin. Have sold the two that I've shown. This one has a great bust of Constantinopolis. This is graded Choice XF by NGC. I think the eye appeal is really solid. I think holding across, I think that Christian imagery, it would have been Battle of Milvian Bridge. J-Dizzle notes. If there's interest, I could run a couple of knockelts. Arcanine King, fantastic fire Pokemon. Is it Arcanine? It's probably Arcanine. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. But Growlithe evolves into Arcanine. PLC is going to be the mint mark, really well centered on both sides of this one. Beautiful type. I think I have my personal Pokemon collection. I want to get all the and again, beautiful Epfig type here. Pat gonna jump in. Let me tell you what is the start on that 103 coin. I think there's two more of the Epfigs. Two more of the Epfigs. Nice glossy surfaces on both. Let me just any 4-ounce silver. Dang, no, I do not have any of those. Good time though. It seems like things have dipped, but actually maybe they're going to fall further. Who knows on the silver sometimes. Again, I've got two more Epfig coins. Very nice example right there. Constantinopolis with shield. And we can always bring those out later. Those, I paid 85, so I'm going to look for 109 on them, J-Dizzle. There's the coin that you asked about. Because at the end of the day, making 15 bucks, I think that's pretty fair. Really nice buggy eyes on this 8th unit of the Owls of Arabia series, which would have been fractional coins minted in modern day Saudi Arabia, Yemen, or kind of that southern part of the globe. PRCC. J-Dizzle. Really cool type. J-Dizzle. When that one I tried to buy them out because I thought it was a great price. I thought this will not be hard. Super buggy, nice little eyes there. And this one has a little bit better of a reverse portrait, but yeah, felt that there was appeal all day on these at the current levels. Nice little fractional owl types. Here we've got the again similar coin, clear owl, clear A. It looks like an AOE, but it's actually ATE. That O is a theta. And then there is the very nice, well-struck Athena's head. And so there is the next one, B Farm, along with somebody else jumping in. And we've now sold 3 of the 6 that I brought today. I would say, let's see, how do they look from here on out? I would say that this one is probably the toughest one. And again, 85 bucks at 99. I'm going to make like $6. I'll try one at that discounted price, but it's just because it's not quite as nice. I guess this side is one of the best Athenas I've seen. Phrases, I think I paid, I know exactly what I paid. I think I paid $135 on that. So I think I would try to sell it for, let's see, if I want to make 20 bucks, 155, like 165. It's a little less than 20 bucks for me. I think I have two of them. This one is going to be a little more, we'll be back to 109. It's got great buggy look to it, and that's really sharp. Dang. It looks like a little S into the face of Athena. Any interest in that, WB? I don't know exactly, like, I haven't looked into comps or anything. And this is the last one of these guys that I have in my inventory. I'll try to get some more. This one, a little more worn. I'll say 104. It's not bad. Oh, but yet again, really nice obverse last hurrah for these little owl 8th units. Again, bought 6, have sold 5. And we can also show them off. I'll run both the ones that I have, and we'll keep this for somebody soon. Let me find the 2 XFs that I got. We've got them like so. They're honestly both kind of nice. They each have their own thing. I think this one has a nicer reverse. I think this one has a little sharper obverse. We will offer these Freightises. It could be a total gimmick. I've heard that he's one of the guys who would have been a three wise men. I've heard them sold as that type. Fantastic obverse XF condition, and then the Arsacid. Very clear, nice beard on the reverse. Wise men dram, as I'm calling them, which is a little silly, but also kind of cool. And then here is going to be the other one. At 164. Sharp obverse. And then maybe a little less detail on the reverse, I would say. We also have some of the some less expensive ones, like some VFs for whatever 120. You might actually like the VFs. The XF ones are good. I don't have any Libertads. You might actually like a VF, which I can drop 40 bucks to 124. Actually pretty solid looking. They're really decent reverse look. And then let's see. There's a lot of dollar start coins that we could try. There's a lot of not dollar start coins that I'm more than willing to trot out. Don't want to bore anybody either by doing too many that don't get a bid. So maybe it's time to let's find some WX 4904-303. We'll do some coppers. Some kind of a soul coin. So late 1700s France. This one's pretty worn, but we'll get that giveaway rolling. And make this thing, try to have this thing pop off a little bit more. A little leprechaun, $2. Nice win there. Let's see. Bet this one should be a touch better. A half soul from 1771. Actually with pretty decent detail there. That should go higher. Of course, WB. And we'll have a 1711 as well. Compliment it. Mint Matters. Gonna scoop that. What's going on, Mint? How are you? I'm having fun doing a little late night auction. Got some fun types. Here we have a actually slightly tougher to find 1711 6 deniers. That one will go to overtime. We also have some, let's see. These are pretty worn, but they're like nice King George half pennies. Struck between 7. You can see this Britannia seated. Can't quite make out the date on this one, but King George would have reigned about 1760 to 1820. Yeah, no, doing well. I feel like I'm, It's funny. I'm kind of all over the place in terms of the types of coins I'm selling tonight. Doing a little late night special. I guess a couple notes too, though I haven't focused tons on them. And I think a lot of these are ending up quite affordable, which is good. I mean, I feel like it's also, I was thinking like part of this is like a way to almost give some rewards. This one, I can't tell if it was re-engraved or something right there, and it looks like maybe one of the imitation styles. St. Patrick, I don't think I have any of. Ryan's gonna land that for $1. And then we've got this. This is not King George. This is should be King, I think an earlier King William from I think the 1760s. Yeah, or not 1760s, maybe like 1690s or so. Let's try to find a couple higher quality items than those though. We'll do some cartwheel pennies maybe. A little bit worn, but 1797. Actually pretty good looking. We'll give it 20 seconds. That is a pretty solid type. And I'd be surprised to see this one go for too cheap. These were supposed to address the shortage of copper change that spurred the Condor tokens. Should be well ahead of $2, but maybe that's where this thing lands. $4, nice win. Maybe that's a good signal. We'll shift gears a little bit. Fantastic pickup. Why don't we try Japanese coins or German coins? One of those two. Thanks for that payment. Blaney, go fast. I can't quite understand what you're recommending. German. All right, sounds good. We'll do some German not geld. Here is going to be a nice looking Tenpo Tsuho. 100 mon. Brazil I don't have. Very solid though. Japanese 100 mon. I think going Egyptian. I don't think I have tons of Egyptian, but I should have at least one laying around. Let's see. We'll do maybe, I have like a Egyptian tetradrachm, I think. Federal State of Brunswick. We'll go dollar start just because. 100-plus-year-old Notgeld, emergency money. Braunschweig, 1918 10 Pfennig. Very solid. These were minted during World War I. And WB coin with some real scoops here. This one, fairly nice eye appeal. This is actually going to be Kleingelder Satzmark, a Stadt Butzo. So that's going to be a better not geld type with almost like a bishop's hat on the front. Should get some solid bids. These guys are, I think, kind of selling brutally. That's okay. That one's pretty cool. Let's see what happens if we try it. Dollar start again. This is a City of Camberg, 10 Pfennigs. Very interesting style. I haven't seen it before. Kriegsgeld. Mexican silver, no. We do have two German ones. They have 15 of melt in them. Centex, that's a good win. Or 12 of melt. We've been starting them at 15. A little more than 12. There we go, 1882. And then here, run the next one. Don't think we've got much in the way of Czech. There's some really cool Czech coins out there, though. We also have some nice metals. Let's just do a little bit of a like take inventory of where we're at here. We've got some sweet types over there. We have some tougher to find Islamic style ones. Harder to find Indian coins. Nice looking Greek for mid-range price. I have like some Greek silver fractions that I think are probably pretty cheap even for the market. Would probably be what comes to mind on that front. So I would say the answer is yes, but more provincials? Sure. Why don't we try a few provincials? This will be a good test. These are actually, I think, all pretty decent coins. This is going to be a Caracalla Tetradrachms. $1 start, no sudden death. It's not a huge flan, but it's not tiny. Piece of, again, Caracalla. The next one is going to be a larger flan one with a scratch, but still nice. $10 for J Dizzle. Fantastic win. We'll try one more. We'll give it 7 seconds, though, just to extend a little bit so people can see what they're bidding on. As I mentioned, scratch on the reverse, but a very nice militaristic bust of Caracalla struck in Thrace, Hadrianopolis. Yeah, these are definitely real. It's a good question, though. Only want to buy real coins. That is some good due diligence. It's crazy, that guy was, thousands of years old, and somebody's gonna put it in their pocket for 20-something buck. Not too hard. I feel like I've seen a bunch of them. I've definitely sold a couple fakes, but you get used to, looking at a lot of them and kind of having that discernment. This one's gonna be struck in Dualtum. Tough replace. Shouldn't go for 11. Maybe it does. Guess it does. Nice win. This one is going to be a fairly interesting, a Nicopolis ad Istrum type. Thank you so much, John. I definitely would recommend. Gordian III would have been a ruler in a time of a lot of breakdown in the kind of monetary picture. All good ogre time. I'm not worried. What's going on? It looks like David's joining. Lil Leprechaun. That one will go for $16. Next up, this one is going to be from Augusta Triana, a Faustina II. So she would have been deified by her. Not deified. Faustina the Elder was deified by Antoninus Pius after death. It was extremely sad, and it was Sabina that was the first that kind of ushered in the trend of. Oh yeah, no, totally. I mean, it's a very good question to ask. This one's cool. This is 3rd century BC. But yes, Sabina was the wife of, I think it would have been Hadrian. This is a great reverse type for a case. That's funny. No, I don't know if I would take that. Interesting obverse as well. Again, about 2,200 years old. Should be some room there. But yeah, I mean, we have there are some interesting fakes that I have that were made as fakes in the ancient time. Japan Boo, yep, we're selling those. We started them at 34. Last time they were bidding way into the 40s. They're a pretty nice looking example. Here, I think you have Mars on the back of this guy. Start these for $64. This is a denarius certified holder by NGC. And you see the Trajan Optimo. Then on the back, I think it's off flan. It would say SPQR, but you can see, I think it's Mars advancing with a spear, maybe just a ruler. Yeah, I mean, I think they're just really common. What would generally happen is you'd have, it's like if you didn't have a bank and you had all your money in the form of coins, you'd have to probably store them underground, and then sometimes you wouldn't go back to pick them up. And a lot of them is like pennies. Say you had like 1,000 pennies, there's billions and billions that we've made. This one has a nice portrait of Hadrian on the front. So often they've been kept underground until somebody finds them. And so, yeah, beautiful Trajan. A little tougher on the reverse, but nice obverse. So that's how it ends up happening. There are like the super rare ones. Sure, those are going to be really really expensive, but like, and it's particularly fun when you get them from a documented find. So these, I think, this is a French hoard. I'm pretty sure they were found doing construction. These are in really nice shape. They are a little pricier. I sold already four starting at 84, some bidding into the hundreds. But you have, I think it's a commemorative type struck for um, Constantine, sort of around the time of his death. And you have a beautiful obverse facing there, and then victory with a shield on the other side. I don't have any U.S. colonials. That's a place that I'd like to explore more of. This is the last one that I brought. Great strike. I think it could bid up, but it's the Epfig style. I think holding across there, and then again, great victory facing left. That would mark the fifth. And so that one will go to Coin Hunter or possibly somebody else. And actually, speaking of cast counterfeits, NGC has a very good eye. I trust them a bunch. This one's may land for more than 94. That'll be, and so they identified. They'll send back occasionally some fake coins, and they'll call them out. But this is going to be a Limes denarius. It's still has a reasonable level of value in there. I'm going to start for $54. It's a really good eye appeal, but it's this coin struck in the style of Septimius Severus denarius, but would have been struck out of base metal. So it would have been struck by people at the time trying to imitate. I mean, you could have been punished by death, but it doesn't stand the test of time. It's not good silver. Great beard, really nice appearance to it, and it's been identified by NGC as one of those ancient cast counterfeits. So again, we have a mix: Caracalla, Elagabalus, Septimius Severus. Really neat. If you wanted to own one, we also have some of the larger flan double denarii coins. Let's see. This would be a 238 to 244. Oh, actually, maybe I am giving bad info. That might be right. There's other ones that are definitely like plated 4As. That could be very right. Somebody check me on that. No, I look silly, but I rather admit that I'm wrong. I think that is right because there's a difference. There's sometimes I get ones that are 4A denarius, which is where it's fake. Then the limes. Tell me if I'm getting it wrong, but I think the story is that it would have been like similar to the Hawaii coins. Like in America, we have. Okay, thank you. And by the way, the guy who's answering, he's very, very knowledgeable. Runs business Tiber coins, and so let me just show off the ones that I was bringing back. Now, would these have been? And again, if you look up David Rifkin Tiber coins, he puts on an auction of coins too. And I always look out. I only won a couple in his last auction that I did, but I was very pleased with the results. This one would be a Caracalla. So I guess this would have been knowingly struck gotcha to pay the troops on the border to exchange once they get back to Rome. So again, go check out. I don't think, David, you don't sell anything on Whatnot, but if I'm not mistaken, I always tell people to follow people's Whatnot sales. But I think yeah. I don't know when your next auction is, but I'll be excited to look out for it. All right, let's see. I've got a couple of these. Let me see where I can find them. I sold the one that I offered earlier. This one's really nice looking. This is Aspavarma. This is a low percentage silver Billen tetradrachm in the name of Azis, the Indo-Scythians. These would have been kind of modern day India, Pakistan, Western Chinese steppe from the Yuezhi tribe coming down. Incredible lettering, great detail, a very nice eye appeal horse there on the front, and a large flan. Yeah, exactly. That's that is, David. I always look at when David has a good offer for me. He knows that I'll try to jump in and buy it. So, Here we've got another similar type. If you're looking, it has a really nice flower on the obverse or on the reverse left. Yeah, super solid look. And graded Crusader. I don't think I have graded Crusader stuff. I do have what I would consider to be Crusader or like Crusader adjacent types. Let me see if I can find those quickly. WX32 is what I'm looking for. They were involved in the Crusades, but I don't want to necessarily call it Crusader. Be looking for $27 on these. County of Anjou, Count Folk, from the 1000s to the 1100s, clear cross on the reverse. We are located sometimes in California, sometimes in New York, sometimes in Texas. And that one will go to Texas. Scooter. Henry, which one is that? If you tell me the SKU, it helps me a little bit in terms of locating the coin, just because that way I only have to look it up. We'll try one more. I'll cross my fingers that it sells for a little more, but maybe not. Henry V. I don't think I have it. I think I have a couple silver half pennies. Oh yeah, you could. So basically, there's most dealers will just sell like coin on screen, but I actually pre-upload every one of these so that it pops up below. But you can always filter through and check for what I have. So it's got auction. So it's the sort of thing that a lot of people are surprised because it's not like common to whatnot, if that makes sense. But it's something that I've always kind of emphasized. It means it takes a lot longer to inventory things. These guys were selling real hot earlier. This one's going to be a 1621. But I think it helps me in case I confuse stuff. And I think it does help the customers because they can track their buys. They can bid with more confidence. They can research the coins that I have and then ask me for them. And they can know if I don't have a coin. It helps me also keep track of what I paid for stuff so that I can actually tell you what I paid for something and then try to make a profit if I'm not dollar starting it. I'm trying to make a profit here. This one looks like the year 3. Do I have a Caesar? I should have a Caesar. That's an example. If you type in Caesar, you will find that I do have one. It's really worn though. And this one should bid up a good bit more 1790s French copper. Some Greek, sure, Dante Don. Let's see what I have here is, if you just type in Julius, let's see if there's more than this. Looks like there's also a Julius Burso Silver Denarius. This one, I'm asking more of a retail price, but it's pretty tough to find for $600, even though it's in tough shape. An Elephant Snake Denarius. And there you have the implements. Coin number 62, that's funny. I think it's comparatively rare to see people that do it, but I find that it, I think it elevates the show experience for people is kind of my sense. And I think, that matters enough to me to do where I do try to emphasize that. All right, let's see. AD 69, 17, 12. This one's kind of worn, but the reverse is pretty nice looking. I wouldn't discount it too bad. The one I sold started in the 50s, bid up, and I think this is a little nicer. You can see real clear portrait. That one almost looks like there's a trident coming out of that side. Yeah, what's going on, Numis Maximus? Good to see you. And then some Greek. People asked about Greek. Let's see. The next question is, what do you count as Greek? I have a ton of Bosporus, Pandicapaeum. I have some Lampsacus ovals. That one will go to Tom Pla. Horn silver. Yeah, I think it probably has a little bit of horn silver on there. This one is going to be, you can see the Athena on the reverse really well. I'd probably start this guy for 54. It's graded VG, so fairly worn type, but a Mysia Lampsacus. I think it's Athena or some kind of derivative of that on the reverse. And then there is the helmeted head of, I think it's Athena. with the nose and the mouth pretty clear. Nice little Greek type. We also have a tinnitus oboe offer for a similar price. It's in better shape. It's a little smaller flan. There's going to be the tinnitus silver from the 5th to 4th century BC. Coin Hunter, I'm going to try to be on every night this week. It's an experiment that I'm doing just to see A, if I go crazy, or B, if people like are sick of me. But I think there's nothing, I generally never run out of coins to sell. So also included in that is that my wife is on a business trip. So I'm kind of home and I'm just around to auction after work. That's funny, Numis. Here we've got a nice ram's head on this Troas Kebrin hemiobol. Really kind of fun. Again, head of a ram on silver, 5th century BC. Yeah, exactly. Then we can go to a nice dinner or something when she's back. And then these are going to be VG. This one also looks pretty nice, so we're going to keep it at 54. The next one's a little tougher, will be at 49, but I think I'd probably take this one for the $5 extra over the next one. Janiform means the head's stuck together, as you can see on this Greek fraction. And if people are sick of Greek fractions, we can stop them, but I feel like they're not too bad. Oh yeah, the Queen Anne. For sure. I thought that I might have sold it, or no, maybe that's the one that's kind of beat up. I think I paid like 120 something for it. I'll probably ask like 169 for it, even though it's got some issues. And I mentioned this one, $49 start. This one has actually, the head's very well centered, and it is graded fine. Not a bad coin. The reverse portrait is not quite as nice, but the obverse is pretty clearly decent looking. Queen Anne, Queen Anne, Queen Anne. Where is she? I think that's the type right there, 26. Yeah, there's like that planchet dig. Unfortunate reverse is impaired. 169 for the silver crown. Not horrible. Numas, are you a professor or a grad student? I'm trying to think who else would have office hours. Thanks, Tompla, for getting that payment sorted. Somebody, I think, was asking about Boo. I'm not sure if they're still here. We do have some Japanese bean money. These things were flying off the shelves in my last show, so I got a couple more. For everybody, $36, sudden death. Is it like a tutoring business or something? Like English tutoring? Or, if you don't want to say, also don't. These are decent size, though. These would have bridged the gap between copper and silver money in Tokugawa Shogunate, Japan. And they are in the form of beans, so aptly named. Can I do a denarius soon? For sure. We have very worn denarii. These are really tough. They would be about $49. Just because I have to I have to sell them for some amount of money. This is a quite nice one that I would recommend a little more. That would be at the 49 range, or excuse me, 64 range, and probably bid up from there. Oh, gotcha. Super cool. Very nice denarius of Hadrian. There's the reverse. I'd be surprised if it ends at 64, but it also might. You never know. That one will go to Thomas Collector. We've got, as I mentioned, these are going to be... Oh, actually, the back of this guy is not too bad. I think it even says... no, I'm not sure what it says. It could say SPQR Optimo, but I don't think it does. $49, I think, is a great price for a worn NGC holder denarius. Maybe not a great price, but I won't go below that, if that makes sense. A duet. Yeah, let's run some duets after this. There is a Trajan denarius, again, 98 to 117 AD. And then we talked about duets, so why don't we run some? We also have some like medieval Spanish coins, which is pretty fun. But duets, I think I've got 3 of them here. And then we'll do the Mint Matters request. These are actually pretty good looking duets. 1786, Netherlands, East India. Nice eye appeal. 97.58. I'll run it at a cost I'm not sure I'll be able to replace it. I mean, maybe I will, which would be awesome. Here's the next one. We'll do the other 2. Maybe it says that there's 3 duets if I can find the last one, which I don't think I can. Do I have? Yeah, I'm struggling to find the last. No, absolutely. Good question, Steve. We don't have that much storage space, and I'll be honest, even when it comes to metals, like graded coins is doable, but it's way bulkier to ship. So that's kind of the travesty of it all. If we had a big operation where we could easily do the books, we would, but it from a business perspective is a little tougher for us. Here's a 1787. I'm struggling to find the last. I'm not seeing the. That one will go. But yeah, I thought that I had WX16, and I'm struggling to find them. There are some good coins. Here's this 1893 crown. We'll run it for a price that it will really likely bid up from. At least if it's anything like the last show. $69. Yeah, for sure, Arcanine. I think more likely would be like if I had a website. I have a website, but it's not very optimized, and maybe I could like drop ship books there. It's fairly low margin. Like when I think about the added effort is probably the same effort of selling like 10 or 15 coins, and I'm not gonna, if I make a good coin buy, I can make $20 on it, but most books you can go buy for a very limited amount. Like there's no benefit to buying a specific book, so there's not much way to. That's how I kind of think about it. Alfonso the Eighth. This is going to be medieval Spain Thomas Collector, if you're interested in that. A genuine Toledo dinero. I've sold a good number of these at this 44. I think I paid 33 on them. Actually, I know that I paid 33 plus I guess a little shipping. Awesome. Thank you for stopping by. It's been really fun as always. Just looking around for like what would be some fun little coins to run quickly here. Here's a type I haven't tried in a while. Well, first we'll try some of the nice. We got some beautiful Sasanian drachms. These I paid closer to 40 than 30. Really nice Khusro. He would have been the last long-standing ruler of the Sasanian Empire. Very nice obverse. And these are charming coins, trade tokens. Yeah, I mean, do you want to call out any specific ones? Be happy to find them. Here's a 10th penny, British West Africa, 1939, in pretty good shape. And on this side, this would be King George. There's some Islamic script. 1/10 of a penny, George the 6th King and the Emperor of India. And that one will land for 5. I think. I'll start these at that 5 and try to run. There's only a couple left in my inventory. I think that they should find some bids. Last request, any Romans with real. What price range are you looking to spend? I feel like that's important because no more than 60. It's probably going to be a bronze coin if you're good with that. This one's nice and uncirculated. I can flip through, see if I can pull something quickly here. It's probably going to be some of these. We'll do the remaining. I don't have many more. I think I have like 3 more of these, and then we'll do nice Romans. These are the last 3 in my inventory. Cool. British, West African, 10th pennies. Boom. 1 more. Or 2 more. Yeah, I do. I have mostly not geld. Falls in the category, and I know some of the people who like to bid on it left, but I just basically run 10 at a time for $1 start. We'll do $1 start for this last one in my inventory. And then we'll run some of the nicer 29 start Romano-Gallic Empire coins. That one will go to Lucky Reigns. Let's see. I kind of want to clear. I'm going to clear my desk off. 1 second here, just so that I can prep to run. I guess I'm getting close to being. Well, and very likely will be done not too crazy long from now, but sometimes you never know what happens with a show. So I'll get to at least, well, if I did 32 more coins, that'd be 300 orders. So maybe that's about right. Peruvian, I think there might be 1 Peruvian type. Yeah, great portrait on this Romano-Gallic Roman double denarius. And so you have a couple of similar, just like really solid portrait, double denary, NGC Hoard. Nice win for Dante. We will get the next one as well. Sharp obverse. A little green incrustation. That's a nice Laetitia portrait. Good looking Tetrachus. That one will go to Thomas Collector. And then we have a couple other. Aurelian is a fairly popular emperor, I would say. This one's a good portrait. We have gone very light on the Islamic coins tonight. If there are interest in Islamic or Central Asian, we should have some. Here's Aurelian. Looks like we have 1 more of the Tetrachus the Firsts. Yeah, I mean, I'll offer some Islamic then after this. It's interesting how far-reaching the Islamic, and that's a great face of Tetrachus. And actually pretty good on the reverse, too. You can see the detail in the face. That's a nice coin. Really irregular flan, which is typical of the breakdown of society. That would have been the context in which those coins were sold. Here we've got Islamic types. I paid 18, so I want 24 for them. This would have been Islamic in Shabankara, Persian area. This at this point was like the breakdown of the Mongol Empire. You had, I think, the Ming Dynasty. You have the Golden Horde, Islamic Horde. But the Ilkhanate and the Timurids. It's like pre-Timurid Ilkhanate, nice silver. Let's see. Let's find 1926. We can do some. Very likely to sell these guys. They are silver. The cartwheel, sure. The other one sold real cheap, but I'd be happy to get it immediately. 1926, 92.5% silver. Australia, 1926 shilling. Silver value on this guy is $12.25, so back of silver price at the moment. Nice win for Pat. I think quite a good outcome. We're going to go a little earlier, and we'll start for 13 bucks, which I will be at less than melt, and you'll be at within $1 of melt. Let me try to find that cartwheel. Oh, I think it's facing up right there. This one is Melbourne Mint, 1917 M. You can see that M Mint right below it. Again, melt on this is $12.25. No, then the next one, well, we'll do this one right after it, and then we'll do the cartwheel, and then we'll come back to the remainder of these. Kangaroo, it should be silver. Mint Matter's going to snag that one. This thing is pretty worn, as you can see. Doesn't mean it's a bad coin, though. Probably like 10 bucks, just because it is cartwheel, but still pretty worn. 1797. And then that one will go to mint. Here we've got, let's see, $13. Yeah, they're copper. 1914, a little bit earlier. I don't know that it's a rare date, but I think it's possibly slightly better. Again, $12.25 of silver in there. It's a fun way to stock up on silver. This one's a little bit dinged up, so we'll go sub-melt for Sherman. 1914. Again, a couple hits, but also nice. The rest of it is pretty good looking. Oh, we also have 2 of the King Edward ones, which I do think are a bit better. They're improperly identified. Classic me, I was going too fast. No sudden death, dollar start. This is a King Edward rarer. Edward the 7th. Silver shilling. Very fun. Be surprised if it stayed at 14 was what I was going to say. All right, that one will go to Numis, and then I think the last of these I'll run for the same price. 1910. Edward the 7th. What other coins should I try? I'm thinking, I think there's some like kind of cool Danish stuff that I haven't looked at in a while. Some of it is probably, yeah, I mean, '06, let's see. We have a couple of, this is a 2-skilling Dansk. Very nice on this side. Honestly, that's a pretty solid coin. Hopefully it doesn't go too cheap. Danish. Very nice on one side, worn on the other, but it's 1600s Denmark type. That one will go to mint. And we'll just continue along with, we got 20 coins to go, and I'm not going to be stopping. So you guys, we got to make the sales. So you guys will hopefully be in for a treat here. 2-skilling Dansk. Mint Matters. Oh, this next one I think looks a little better. See both sides. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Very clear date as well. 1677. Probably should have given a little more time to run, but yeah, 1677. Very pleasing. 2-skilling Dansk. Only a couple seconds left. Should zip up there, and that one will go to no lime. And then we have also, these are an 80% silver. I don't think that there's like no silver in these, if that makes sense. We'll give it 20 seconds, and they're kind of old, 1915 with very nice shape. Dolphin and like Rainier or something. 1915 Christian the 10th Chrome. Nice little silver. And Maximus will win that one. Oh, and then this one, I do kind of want to look at this to see what it is. It's a two kroner, the Greenland campaign, kind of historically relevant. Melt is 29 here, so I think I'll go 33. Melt is 29. Interesting Greenland reference, 2 kroner. 1953 commem type. That one will go to Blaney. Then we've got, let's see, 113. This one is a golden type. Not sure what these... Oh, this is actually Netherlands Antilles. So that is like a Caribbean island, I believe. $17.51 of silver. 17 bucks of silver. That one will go to mint. This one I think is going to have a lot less silver in there, but it's a better little coin, 1855, 5 cents. That actually has decent... Yeah, we have, Ryan, we have... I bought... I don't want to lose money on the Ottoman. I have a decent number of Byzantine. I sold most of the Byzantine that I brought. But let me see if I can go find it. That one will go to no. AE. Where did I put AE? Let's see. Come on. There they are. So these guys, I just paid 10 bucks a pop for them. I've been trying to sell them for $14. Thought that was a fair... you know, I obviously bought them when I was offered them. This is going to be Murad the Second, a silver aksha. And so, you know, Ottoman silver, I think there you can see the Hijri calendar year of 825, the upside down V. And then in terms of Byzantine, I'm not so sure what I've got. We have some interesting... We have not touched Indian coins today. Why don't we do maybe 2? Here's a very... Actually, good eye field. Dang, that's a nice looking one. Dodia Paisa. It might be a different type, but this was sold to me as a Dodia Paisa with an interesting kind of like tree or something going on with it. Would have been some sort of Indian copper. And then also have this one with interesting patterns, kind of not quite stellate, but similar. Biz Coins going to win that one. Says that's your first buy. Thank you for the purchase. These I paid 6 bucks something for. Nice chunky Indian coppers this time. Princely State of Nawanagar, a Docto coin. I think we have 2 of them today. Maybe 3 if I can find the third. Where did I put it? There's the third. Well, this one doesn't sell for too hot. I'm going to start this one at 9 bucks. Try to make my little number on it. Appealing type. And yeah, I mean it's a solid coin for sure. We also have some Nepalese bronzes that I paid, I think, $10, 44 cents for. I'd start them at $10. I'm not sure if I overpaid for them. They're early, mid 1800s. Oh yeah, let me look at the Carthage. You know what? I apologize. I think I sent those to grading. Actually, let me make sure though. I'm gonna do a detailed search. Yeah, or not to grading, to an auction firm, because I think I can get a lot more if I have a bunch of eyes on it. It's a nice type. Sorry about that. Let's see. What are these coins? Oh, interesting. Islamic tin pitis. These look to be a little bit lower grade, so we will dollar start them. These are from, I've paid like $7 to $9 a pop for these in the past. These ones have some interesting holes. I'm not sure if that was actually as made or if over time they wore down. But that one's really nice. Let's try these two up front, 38 and then 26. Should be fairly... It's interesting, though, how it would like wear and corrode like that. Again, Sultanate of Kelantan. And you can still see the Hijri calendar. I think there is the inscription with the calendar year. Yes, they are tin. $1 is... well, it's good to get people some offers here. This one... Let me see if we can find the Hijri calendar. Yeah, super nice inscription, by the way. 1314, very clear. You can see right there. Dates it to 1897. Just a very unique type of coin. And then I would hope that the last two, which are in really solid shape, would bid considerably higher, but you never know. Let me take this out of the flip, and so you can see. I mean, man, that thing has a really nice look to it. Beautiful. Beautiful surfaces and incredible calligraphy. $5. This one, in the past, I've started them at $13. We'll try the really nice one, and it's the last one that I've got here. No, these are actually tin. Beautiful. This is the last one of its type that I have in my inventory here. It may have all been in Texas, but beautiful tin pitis. Fantastic style. And then continuing on the Islamic coins, as I mentioned, we have a range of them. We have some of the Zoroastrian coins as well, if those are interesting, but these are Persian and Mongol influenced under Abu Sa'id. Fantastic calligraphy. And we've got, again, I paid $18, so that's how I'm pricing this. Trying to make about $4. Nice eye peel, ilkhanate types. Let's see what's on my desk. Let me know what I should run or what I should not run. Yeah, nobody bid on that one. I'd be happy to rerun it, but given where I paid, I'll try to keep it. I would probably want to make like $3 or $4 at the end of the day selling it. Sure, Axel. Peru. I think it's a 5th soul or something. Yeah, I'd be happy to rerun the Persian one. Really nice. Good time of night to bid on this thing. 1916. Beautiful, magnificent. I think it's a 5th soul. 5 dinero de sol. Fantastic. This one should bid a good stage from here. Oh yeah, no problem. That's Mark. Well, I'll run it again. I mean, I bought. It's funny. The last show that I brought them to, I had advertised it a little bit better, but people bought all 5 that I brought at 24 start, like, immediately. So here's the same coin back. It's got a nice look to it. Again, this is the Ilkhanate under Abu Sa'id. Looks like somebody else bid on that one, but I can run another one. As I mentioned, I have brought 5 more to this show. It's just I can't come down much on that price. It has this very interesting style. Here's a Mercury dime. Didn't think I have much American, but it's pretty looking. Okay, no problem. You're good. I'm not too worried. Yeah, Jeremy, I do. I think, let me see. I forget if I still have, I have a ton of interesting German porcelain not geld coins, if that's up your alley at all. This is kind of a weird fortune coin or metal. I'm not sure what we're looking at here. Really don't know what I'm looking at. But yeah, I have German not geld porcelain, which is kind of a crazy type, but also pretty fun. Probably start those in like the 20s. They were basically made after World War II. They were able to raise money and just like mint commemorative coins that were interesting, but they stuck around. So here we are 100 years later. Yeah, I mean, I normally start these for 24. We'll see. It's a little late at night, so no problem if it doesn't go. This is going to be Ludwig Richter Fest, Meissen, June of 1921, 10 marks. So technically would have had circulating value, but practically nobody would have used it for that. Kind of interesting German, metal. And that's Kyle's first purchase. This is a smaller flan one, so maybe we would try it for a bit less. This is going to be the Engraver and Chiseler Bund. No, we have a decent number of them, actually. I bought a large collection of German porcelain. I also have some cheaper porcelain from Germany that's maybe like $12, but it's not quite as nice. It's like circulating denominations. But yeah, white porcelain, Weimar Republic, Chiseler. I'm probably winding down at this stage for the evening. Yeah, probably winding down. So if there's any last types that you're interested in, we could run some of these nice, these are beautiful drams from the Parthian Empire. This one's really beautiful. Let's see. This would be $149. Nope, no Libertads. 121 to 91. No, that's the last Peruvian I had, unfortunately. Very nice choice, very fine. Mithridatic silver. Let's see, what else would be possibly cool. Here is some, paid 75 on these, so I tried to get 94 out of them. Gondophares, Sazes. Fantastic little Parthian tetradrachm in Billin. And I think that about does it. Year of the Rabbit. Not sure what year would that be. I'll try. But I don't know what that would be. I'm sure that if it's just every 14 years, or every 12 years, I'd have something eventually if you go back far enough. I'm buying most of these coins from other coin dealers. I'm like a dealer collector. This one I bought from a Japanese dealer. It is a 100 Mon Tenpo Tsuho coin. Really interesting type. Pretty affordable. And maybe a last one. I sold every one of these that I brought in the last show in the 40s, or excuse me, in the 30s or 40s. These are going to be 10 dineros, the armillary sphere of Sebastião from 1557 in the Portuguese Malacca. There is that beautiful, well-contrasting sphere. Chinese sparks. Yeah, I do have some Chinese stuff. More Chinese ant nose money is going to be what I have the most of at the moment. And that would be at that same 29 start. Sold out in the last show of these, again at that 29 start. Ant nose money, this one's pretty well struck up. Texas is going to be the first bidder there. Yeah, these are really interesting. And that one will go to Arc9 King. Next one here. I think I brought not tons of them. You can see again, there's what looks like a face staring right at us. And that may be the last hurrah here. Great and very fun sale with all of you. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Trying to think. Was that the lowest on the Queen Anne? Let's see if I can find it. Let me confirm exactly what I paid for it. There's probably a couple bucks on it. It's the kind of thing, but also it's mint. But it's the sort of thing. Oh, actually, I feel bad. I confused the digits. I thought I paid 120 and change. I paid 102 and change. Totally a bad idea of me to state that I had messed up the price on it. But in that case, we can drop it. I apologize about that. I was trying to make like 30 bucks on it. Not my best luck, but I normally don't have the room to just come down that much on it. I was thinking like, if I'd paid 120, maybe I could do like squeeze 160, but it's my only one in my inventory. Lou, I don't have much in the way of Scottish. Let me type in Scotland. I'm just going to put SCOT and see what pops up if I've got anything. It doesn't look like it. When I get Scottish, it goes super fast. I got some in that I paid like 179 for them. I was starting them at like 249 and they were all bidding up. This is kind of a fun type. 15, and you can tell the exact date right there. 1575 on this one. Great lion facing left. Livonian, Duchy of Courland and Semigalia. This is like, I think, Baltic area. Prussian. Not tons of those. Sounds good, HTC. Let me find 92. We have some possibly interesting Ecuadorian silver. Kind of a neat type, I would say. Welsh, no vintage, but that's a good call out. We sold, I think, some coins from Jersey. 1901 crown. I think I'd try like 34 bucks on there. Yeah, I was like, that should definitely get that one gone. Let's see what this 1943 Sucre in Ecuador. Nice win for Texas. I think we have one other maybe. We also have some nice Swiss silver actually that could be worth taking a look at. I was planning originally of starting these for 40 or for 39. Here's 1900. I have the Ecuadorian. It's 43 bucks of silver, 43.74. I'd probably try it for that 43 start. This one should bid higher than for 34, but maybe it lands. We'll go to mint. This guy, yeah, this guy has what's it called? Oh no, maybe I didn't upload it. Really? Oh no, none of these are uploaded. Well, I'll try to get them ready. We do have nice world silver. Let's see. Here are some of the 2 francs, all nice and unky. And I probably need to go to bed at this point too. 20 bucks, 29 of silver in here. Probably start this for 24. No, this one's not uploaded either. Dang. Oh, you know what? Maybe I was searching the wrong thing. I think I might. But yeah, very nice uncirculated silver. That Gabe hanging out. Texas. If it is Gabe, you should say hi. And nice win for Texas. We've got, let's see, another 24 bucks start. 1964. That's a good looking coin. Two francs. $20.29 of silver in here. Last of these 2 francs. A little bit earlier date though, which is nice. Maybe more of a little bit of wear, but very nice eye appeal. Swiss classic silver coin. That one will go to Mint Matters. This next one, 5 francs, has 30 bucks 44 of silver in it. So we'll go for like melt after fees to me. Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, sounds good. Let me try to pull that coin. $18.90 crown. It's a high price. I just can't rebuy them from England because they cost way too much with conversion and tariffs. So I am charging 74. It's touch wiped. Doesn't show super in the camera. I think it's a nice coin. I wouldn't be shocked if it sold for more than that. It will. It will go to overtime. All right. I think the Ecuadorian is probably back on the market. This one had 43 of melt in there. Let's try to get 43. It was 43.74 of melt according to NGC. And you don't see Big Flan Mexico City Mint Ecuadorian silver super plentifully available, I wouldn't say. That's funny. Awesome. I think this has been a great show. Is there a coin that we should run as a thank you, a dollar start thank you for hanging out. I feel like these guys are kind of slept on. And they sold really well in the last show. I sold one of them for 14 today. I think this one's a little nicer. We'll go dollar start, and we'll see you as soon as possibly tomorrow night. This has a great stag. This is medieval Afghanistan, Emirs of Kunduz under Amir Khusro. Fantastic stag 2 dinar type. You can see the stag very clearly on the front of this coin. Should bid up back and at a losing cost at the moment. We will see. Pat Marker is going to win it. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. Going to clean this up. Hopefully get this out by Thursday. And see you all soon. Yeah, I'll try to be back on tomorrow night. Let's raid somebody. It's late, but I'm sure somebody's still on here. We'll go say hi to Peter.